Tonight could be the night, and the path is simple. Win, and you're in. The Buffalo Sabres are seeing their 14-year playoff drought come to an end, and it's a matter of when. They can clinch tonight with a win over the Ottawa Senators. There is another path to the playoffs if they were to lose. That requires them to lose in overtime or a shootout. But this also requires that the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Detroit Red Wings lose to the Carolina Hurricanes and Philadelphia Flyers respectively, and both of those losses can come in any fashion. While the Senators are trying to play spoiler, this is the day every Sabres fan has been waiting for. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava, and welcome to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada's capital, for the third and final meeting between these two division rivals. Buffalo won the two previous meetings, 8-4 on October 15th for their first win of the season, where Ryan McLeod and Jason Zucker each had 2 goals. Josh Doan had 3 assists in the only game between these two at KeyBank Center. And just before the Christmas break, Buffalo took a 3-2 overtime decision on December the 23rd. Bowen Byron scored twice, including the overtime winner just 31 seconds into the extra session. In addition to a playoff spot, the Sabres have a good chance not only at the Atlantic Division title, but also the best record in the Eastern Conference. The Sabres must continue to win as much as possible to achieve one or both of these goals. The Tampa Bay Lightning are right down their necks. The Montreal Canadiens are making a huge surge, and even the Boston Bruins are forging a late push. The Sabres are tied with the Carolina Hurricanes, who are on a hot run of their own as well, especially on the power play in the East standings, with 100 points apiece, but the Canes have a game in hand. Buffalo has 7 games remaining in their schedule. After tonight, it will be 6 games remaining. Meanwhile, the Senators are one of the teams battling for the second wild card spot, tying the standings points with the Red Wings and the Flyers, who are coincidentally facing off against one another. And all 3 teams each have 8 games left on their regular season schedules. After tonight, it will be 7. Buffalo just ended their 3-game losing streak with back-to-back wins over the Seattle Kraken and New York Islanders, 3-2 and 4-3. The former with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen stopping 32 shots and Buffalo erasing a 2-0 deficit to win thanks to shootout goals from Tage Thompson and Jack Quinn. And the latter with Peyton Krebs scoring the game winner in the third period to follow up on his game-tying goal against Seattle. Ottawa's on a 3-game losing streak, most recently losing to the Florida Panthers 6-3 2 days ago, allowing 5 goals in the first period, including the game-opening goal by Noah Gregor 8 seconds in. Linus Ullmark was pulled after allowing those 5 goals in the first period on 16 shots. As we go on to what to watch here, we begin with the Buffalo Sabres. They played their way past the talk of magic numbers and out-of-town help. The math is simple. Win it, you're in. And ever since Kevin Adams was fired on December 15th, they hold the best record in the NHL at 31-7-4, giving up the fewest goals against per game at 2.6, and are second only to the Tampa Bay Lightning in scoring, 3.76 goals per game. They have continued their hot streak in March by going 11-2-2 in the month, and have been one of the most efficient 5-on-5 offensive teams in the league. From the span beginning in December 9th, Buffalo was second in the NHL in goals per game at 3.73 in their next 45 games, topped only by the Lightning at 4 flat. Yet the Sabres were only 17th in shots on goal per game at 27.6 per game in that span. They don't deal in volume, as they have 13 they rely on goal scorers to finish the chances they create, which they do very well. They have 13 players with double-digit goals with a shooting percentage of 13.6% that span, second behind Tampa Bay, and 11.2% shooting rate at 5-on-5, fifth in that span. Their goals versus expected goals is around 13%, easily top 5 in the league this season. It's undeniable that they're one of the most entertaining teams this season thanks to their goal-scoring prowess, though skeptics have the habit of criticizing feel-good stories when it comes to the playoffs, especially when it comes to fun teams like the Sabres. River hockey, which is the brand of hockey that they play, means a free-flowing style of offense in front of a below-average defense. But the question is if that offense can remain freewheeling in the playoffs. A big part of their game is their ability to create off the rush, as they lead the NHL in rush goals and have the third highest percentage of the non-empty net goals off the rush to go along with the highest shooting percentage on shot attempts off the rush. Now the Senators. They always had the talent to run with the big boys of the league, but the goaltending problems that plagued them in years past have resurfaced again this season. It's once again held them back. Linus Ullmark was supposed to be the catalyst for change in Canada's capital, which in his defense, he looked apart this season. But this year it's been a disaster, as he's part of a League Wars 873 team save percentage. But he's been performing better when it mattered most, albeit to an extent. Despite 878 save percentage in the last 10 games, he has a 1.1 goal saved above expected, which isn't special, but it's holding Ottawa together. 5-on-5, the Sabres and Senators stack up very closely with one another. Goaltending and injuries notwithstanding, Ottawa would have the advantage over Buffalo in expected goals against per 60, 233 to 274. But the Sens still, in fact, have 5 defenders on the injured list. Jake Sanderson, Thomas Chabot, Nick Jensen, Dennis Gilbert, and most recently, the youngster Carter Yakimchuk. As a response, that they have recalled Cameron Crotty from AHL Belleville after the injury to Yakimchuk, who left with the injury against Florida. Drake Batherson just joined Tim Stützle in the 30-goal club this season, his first 30-goal season of his career. The head coach Travis Green says it's been a challenge with a lot of fresh faces on the back end, and that they need to come together as a 5-man unit to help them out, especially on the breakout. They do have a 9-4-2 record in March, but are looking to snap a 6-game losing skid against Buffalo in this old Atlantic Division rivalry that has been rekindled tonight. Let's go to our starting lines, beginning with the visiting Buffalo Sabres. On the top line is Peyton Krebs, Tage Thompson, and Alex Tuch. Second line is Jason Zucker, Ryan McLeod, and Jack Quinn. The third line, Zach Benson, Josh Norris, and Josh Dode. And to round it out, Jordan Greenway, Josh Dunn, and Beck Mallenstein. Dunn is replacing the injured Sam Carrick, who injured his arm in a fight. On defense, it begins with Matthias Samuelsson and Rasmus Dahlin at the top pair, Bowen Byram and Owen Power on the second pair, and the third pairing is Logan Stanley and Zach Metsa. The starting goaltender is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen after Alex Lyon got the start against the Islanders. Lyon will be the backup. Now for the Ottawa Senators. The top line is Fabian Zetterlund, Tim Stützle, and Drake Batherson. Second line, Brady Tkachuk, Dylan Cousins, Ridley Greig. The third line, Claude Giroux, Shane Pinto, and Michael Amadio. And to round it out, Warren Fogle, Lars Eller, and Nick Cousins. On the defense pairs, it begins with Tyler Kleven with Artem Zub. Second pairing is Nicholas Madenpalo and Jordan Spence. And to round it out, Lassie Thompson and Cameron Crotty. The starting goaltender is Linus Ullmark, who will get a chance at redemption tonight. James Reimer is the backup. So the starting goaltenders are Luukkonen and Ullmark. Ullmark does have 2 shutouts this season. However, he'll have to rebound from a horrid night against the Florida Panthers. We'll be scoreboard watching all night long, as we'll have live updates of Blue Jackets Hurricanes and Red Wings Flyers in the meantime. So it's been the same season by the Senators last season, but with more goaltending issues for how they stack up on the playoff field. Dahlin is on the bench. Metsa, the former Quinnipiac Bobcat who captained them to a national championship in 2023, head coached by Rand Pecknold. Buffalo starting with the power defense pairing, and let's get rocking and rolling. Sabres in the white, Senators in the red. Those are uniform combos and an early icing here as Madenpalo touches up. Madenpalo is a right-handed defenseman. The Sabres have 5 lefty defensemen on the roster. The Senators with Zub, Madenpalo, Spence, Thompson, and Crotty being 5 righties on the back end. Face-off won by the Sens. They're one of the best face-off teams in the league, and a long shot stopped by Luukkonen from the left point. And the Sabres are going with Josh Norris and his line to start off this game. The third line here. Norris, who was traded for Cousins at last year's deadline, is starting for Buffalo. Tie up at the face-off. It's won by Norris. It's a go back for Byram. And moving it up the near side is Benson. Centering pass onto the right side for Power. Will overskate the puck. Could not get by Brady Tkachuk. From the near corner, set back towards the left point. Byram holds. Now goes around. This shot's blocked and it comes back out the center. Byram will retreat all the way into his own end and pick it up at the near corner. Watching is Luukkonen as Byram goes behind the net. Amadio's watching him now as Red Wings Flyers is underway. And moving it up the near side, Owen Power. Blue Jackets Hurricanes also underway as we get going here. And this chance out in front was stopped by Ullmark First shot on goal for Buffalo in this game, and we expect this to be pretty high event. One shot apiece in the first minute of action here. Flip down the zone, and this is going to be tipped by Zub onto Olmark. Here, Canadian Tire Center. Alec Nava here with you on the play-by-play. As Luukkonen will slow this puck down and leave it behind. Picked up by Dahlin, has Metsä up front. Goes left side. This is tipped up, and now picked up by Spence, the former LA King, who was traded to Ottawa in the offseason. Sent to the right side for Thompson. Thompson moves it up to center ice. It's deflected. Stanley lost the handle. Behind the net is Stützle. Sets up right out in front and could not be fired home. Jack Quinn tried to clear this one out. Ottawa holds the zone. Around the corners, Luukkonen let this one go. Metsä places behind over to Stanley, and it's Quinn with it, near half boards. The second line getting to work here for the Sabres. Jack Quinn uses the boards to dump this in as Olmark playing this behind the net, away from a crowd. Kept it at the right point by Metsä, but it's chopped out. And here comes the chance. 2-on-1 here for Ottawa. Quick shot. Pad save. Luukkonen. Near corners. Here's Stützle, could not pick it up. And here's Metsä. Metsä does get it out. Undrafted free agent for the Buffalo Sabres. And Matt and Paolo wins the foot race to force the icing. To go to Buffalo's keys to this game with Lindy Ruff. Get on Ottawa early. Capitalize on special teams and continue to battle here. That is the keys here for the Buffalo Sabres. As we're going to be continuing to scoreboard watch throughout the night. And to find ways to win. Both start off the face-off against Ottawa. So do this over again. This face-off is to the right of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. As these two teams continue to battle, Josh Dunn is going to take the face-off against Lars Eller. Fourth line against fourth line. Eller is a lefty. Dunn is also a lefty. You have a slow feed right now, so I apologize for any technical difficulties. So I'm going to refresh the feed. So stand by, everyone. This is going to take a while because we are scoreboard watching. I've opened up the rest of the scoreboards. Blue Jackets Hurricanes underway. We have no score here between Buffalo and Ottawa. Detroit and Philadelphia scoreless here. We're in the early stages of these games. And we're trying to get the feed back up. Now we're back live. This is set up by Ottawa back in their own zone. They didn't get a shot on goal in that sequence after the icing. This will be sent in deep. The Sabres will be first to recollect. Owen Power being pressured behind the net. Sticked away by Byram, and he'll have some help in getting this one out. Foot race for the puck. It will not make it all the way. Some Sens fans disagree as Spence in trouble. Frees this one up for Thompson as he will try to stretch pass up the middle. That bounced off of Cousins. Dylan Cousins up the far side. Watched by Byram as it's sticked away from him. Now Power to Norris. Flips this down the length of the ice. Icing gets waved off. Will be retrieved by Zub, who is a regular member of this top pairing. His usual defensive partner, Jake Sanderson, out tonight. Craven goes to Zub, but had that taken away by Benson. Backhander, swing and a miss from Tuck. And Cousins gets this up for a 3-on-2 as Benson catches up to Brady Tkachuk. Still with the puck is Tkachuk. And this will be a penalty against Buffalo here after the 3:39 mark of the first period. It's going to be a 2-minute holding penalty on Zach Benson. And Brady Tkachuk drawing that penalty as Benson held him up at the left circle. And on the power play, Ottawa can hurt teams a bit. Good job by Tkachuk to draw that as it's 2 minutes for holding on Benson. We'll see which unit Ottawa goes with to start this off. They're going with the second unit to begin with. Matthias Samuelsson and Zach Metsä out there to begin the penalty kill for Buffalo. The group of 5, Claude Giroux, being part of this 5-man unit, can sometimes play center too. And he wins that face-off. Controlling at the right point is Thompson, goes across onto the top of the left circle. Now down low, onto the far corner. Return feed. Now Thompson again. 11th ranked power play up against the 5th ranked penalty kill. Thompson surveys. Slapper is blocked off a leg. Clapped in by Giroux as he goes around. Metsä cut off the pass. And Buffalo will try to clear this one out. It's not out as Thompson redirected in front. Luukkonen kick save. Ryan McLeod gets into an open Zach Metsä. And Buffalo, long range clear. They'll get it all the way down. 32 seconds gone on this power play. And already the Carolina Hurricanes are on the board. The opening goal from Logan Stankoven. Drop pass off. And this is Drake Batherson starting to rush. Top unit out there for Ottawa. Good job by Buffalo to cut off that pass, and they'll get this one all the way down. 50 seconds gone here on the penalty. Stankoven from Keandre Miller and Jackson Blake on the goal for Carolina. So that's what Buffalo fans want if they do lose in overtime, as a nice handle by Dylan Cozens. Goes down low onto the bottom of the right circle. Closed out. Here's Spence as he surveys. Backpedaling. Off for Stützle. Stützle goes to Tkachuk. Stützle across. Couldn't get this one home. Held in by the Sens as they look. It's Spence. Going down towards the far corner. The pass too far. Logan Stanley cut off Brady Tkachuk. And around towards the near half boards. Josh Norris got it all the way down. 34 left on the power play. All the way down the ice, and Spence will pick it up. 30 seconds left. Around the far side. Jordan Spence will set things up. Stützle, the speedster, up towards the left point. Spence had it off his skate. And the Sabres will try to get this one out. It's held in by Spence at the right point. Jordan Spence flips it to the near corner. One-timer! That's elevated up high. The Senators keep with 10 seconds left. McLeod cut off the pass. It lands onto a Senator. Alex Tuch there. Tuch at the far half boards. Now it's Ryan McLeod running down the final seconds of this penalty, and Zach Benson has returned to the ice. McLeod is shot. That bounced off a leg. And now Benson has jumped onto the ice. Is out there defending Dylan Cozens. He sends this all the way down. First to the puck is Artem Zub, the defenseman. Matthias Samuelsson sends it towards the far half boards, where it's held in by Michael Amadio, the former Vegas Golden Knight. Lost an edge, and the Sabres will get this one out. Foot race for the puck. Zub beats out Peyton Krebs, but Krebs stays with it on the far quarter. Peyton Krebs tied up behind the net. He gets this one open. And down low, this heads to Thompson. Thompson goes back towards the left point. Rasmus Dahlin fakes the shot. Now moves towards the left circle. Dahlin surveys. Drops back towards the left point. Thompson across. Here's Tuch with a shot. Blocked in front. And it goes out of play. Oh my goodness. Tyler Kleven took a nasty block up high and took a puck to the face. And for a team that's missing 5 defensemen, that's the one thing they cannot afford. And he immediately goes to the dressing room. We'll step away here with 13:37 left in the first. Kleven is the only left shot defenseman in the lineup for the Ottawa Senators. The others are righties. Between Artem Zub, Nicholas Matinpalo, Jordan Spence, Lassie Thompson, and Cameron Crotty, who is making his regular season debut with the Senators. He has 2 NHL games under his belt with the Minnesota Wild. By contrast, the Sabres have 5 lefties on the lineup. The only righty is Metsä. Tage Thompson up against Lars Eller for this faceoff. To the left of Olmark. false start, and Thompson is tossed out. That means Peyton Krebs will step in his place. Thompson will set up at the top of the right circle for a quick shot, and Rasmus Dahlin at the top of the left circle. Tie up off the draw, and Eller grabs it. Scooped up by Ottawa, one of the best face-off teams in the NHL. Jordan Spence in trouble at the near corner. Poked away by Thompson, Spence able to hold it. Or excuse me, that was Shane Pinto, rather. And this will be cleared out by Ottawa. Foot race for the puck. This will reach Luukkonen, who will hold it, hogging the left post. That will force the face-off to his left. That will count as a shot on goal. And elsewhere in the NHL, the Panthers and Lightning scored the first goals of their respective games against the Bruins and Penguins, respectively. We're watching along for updates from Hurricanes, Blue Jackets, Flyers, Red Wings. In the meantime, those games are underway along with the games that I mentioned, Canadiens, Rangers as well. Montreal trying to go to the playoffs for a second straight year in the Marty St. Louis era. Another false start against the Sabres in this faceoff. And this time, Claude Giroux is tossed out. Everyone's getting reset. No, Giroux staying in. And this time, Thompson wins the faceoff. Rasmus Dahlin down the near boards as he'll send the pass across. Good job by the Senators to nullify that one. Thompson overskate the puck, but he'll pick it up. Chased by Tuck. He sends it towards his left side. Now moves up towards the far half boards. It is Giroux who stops. Saucers it towards the right point. And as Thompson, that pass was almost cut off. Matthias Samuelsson there alongside Owen Power. Power got the puck away from Ottawa, and he'll spin and turn back. Power goes to Samuelsson, and Power stays on the ice here as this puck is sent in deep off the deflection by Benson. Ottawa able to retrieve at the far corner. Several Senators hound it down as Josh Doan can't hold the zone, and the Senators flip it down the ice, and it'll make it towards the Buffalo end. Samuelsson across for his partner Dahlin. Left side for Josh Norris, the former Senator, flips it over ahead to Benson. Near corner as Norris got tied up alongside Zoo. Norris poked this one away on the backhand. Benson passed too far, and this will be reset as Ottawa's on a 3-on-2. A flip pass towards the left side, wide of Power, and a turnaround pass. Nobody was there. Buffalo will reset now as Norris speeds down the near side. Chips it over ahead. Zub cut him off. This allows for time for Matt Paolo to get it. Norris is able to pin this one at the near corner. Jason Zucker is there. He picks it up. Zucker goes back left point. It is Dahlin. Right across to the right circle. It's Byron. But when Byron flips on the backhand for Zucker, who mishandled it, but is held in by Dahlin. Around the boards from near to far, it is Byron on the control. Far corner. Byron looks at the point. Brady Tkachuk watches. Byron, so surveying, in front. Could not be deflected. It is sent back towards the point for Jack Quinn. Zucker behind the net. Sets up front. Too many bodies in the slot. But it's kept away by Zucker. Pass across. And could not reach Jack Quinn. But here he is with the puck behind the net. Quinn able to get this one to Zucker. Zucker. Dahlin! His shot went off the post. Held in by McLeod as he goes behind it. In front. And this could not be reached by Dahlin. Dahlin goes for Zucker. He waits. Delivers it right side for Quinn. Jack Quinn to Bowen Byram. Takes a shot and goes to Dahlin. Dahlin loads up, pivots. Puck is poked free and goes to center ice. Dahlin picks it back up for the Sabres, who have to reset. Byram skates it back in. Over to Quinn. Jack Quinn goes inside. His shot forced wide by Fogle. First time we mention his name along with the rest of this fourth line. And it'll be Logan Stanley, who started off from his own end. Stanley goes across. Near the halfway point of this game, and the net is diswatched on the other end, so we have to stop play. It is Pride Night for the Senators tonight. And it's a good opportunity here for the Buffalo Sabres as short side, Dahlin was looking for an early goal, and he kissed the post. Allmark may have gotten a piece of it. As we raise awareness, accept the LGBTQ community, not only in Ottawa, but also worldwide. This faceoff outside the Ottawa zone, won by Buffalo as Stanley got it in. Allmark was calling for an icing, but that dump was across the red line. Buffalo was hounding this puck as the Senators are trying to get out of the zone, which they will. Jordan Greenway chasing down the puck for it to be grabbed by Lars Eller, only for that. Eller staying with it. Eller walks in. He dumps it in onto the near corner. Stanley, the first one to the puck. Retrieved by Buffalo as they get this one out. Glove down by the Sens. There's a loose piece of lumber on the ice. Zach Metza pokes it free. It'll be sent behind as the Sens keep a hold of it. And there's something going on at the bench. I'm not sure if this is going to be a penalty against the Sabres. I think it may be, as Beck Malenstein and Jordan Spence got together. And yes, oh yeah, there was a hold by Claude Giroux from the bench. It was Giroux from the bench on the bottom of his stick. Brady Tkachuk is going to be penalized here, 2 for holding. A holding penalty from the bench. And that is definitely not allowed. And Buffalo will get their first crack on the man advantage. Just 1 second before we're supposed to be scheduled for the under 10 timeout. Ottawa's penalty kill has been a weakness for them. But the Sabres power play on the other side has been a strength. It is Thompson, Norris, Zucker, Quinn, and Dahlin on this top power play. Face-off won by Ottawa. They tried to slap it around to clear it, but it's held in by Jack Quinn. Dahlin walks the point. 15th ranked power play up against the 30th ranked penalty kill. Ottawa's PK, one of the worst in the NHL, and the Sabres power play right around league average. But they're playing fun hockey under Lindy Ruff as this puck was deflected out play. 2 for slashing on Tkachuk is the penalty. 9:44 left in the first period. Is Jack Quinn. You want to get him on the shooting lane if you're a Buffalo. Same thing with Tage Thompson in the slot. Ottawa wins the faceoff, and they'll clear this one all the way down. Luukkonen will set things up for Dahlin. He'll skate up with it. He looks to drop it back, and he will. This will be Josh Norris leading the rush. Down the right side, too far for Zucker. Chipped away by Ottawa briefly, and the Senators will have a chance to get this one out. They won't. It's held at the near quarter, going back for Jack Quinn. Flipped it over to Dahlin, who waits. Now goes to Norris, who had it too far for him. Thompson trying to poke it free. 3 Senators are there. The Senators do get it all the way out. And Luukkonen will set things up from his near side. Rasmus Dahlin on the handle. He'll wait patiently with this. He thought about dropping it back. He does go it across. And here's Josh Doan, fresh from the bench as the second unit comes out. Moving up the far side is Ryan McLeod. Now across for Doan. Kept in at the left side. It is Zach Benson with it, number 6. Now low as this goes back towards the top side of the point. Dahlin being double shifted. Benson drops for Dahlin. He steps into it. Towards the right side. Kerwin drag move. The Sabres trying to get things going here on the man advantage. Centering pass in front. Never got all the way through. And Dahlin will go across towards the right point. Here is Doan. Back down low for his teammate. I think that can't get a number on it. This is Dahlin with it at the point. Around for Tuck. Tuck fires it. Saved by Olmark. Towards the slot. Benson turnaround shot. Bribe free. Clear but not out as it's kept in by Dahlin. Final seconds at the power play. Dahlin goes for Tuck. Now back for Dahlin. Fakes the shot. Now here's Tuck stepping into it. Fires one wide. The rebound! And that is sticked away. Slow motion shot went wide. Held in by Buffalo as the power play expires. Towards the left point it goes. Rasmus Dahlin lets one go deflected. And that is stopped by Olmark. The Sabres have it again. Josh Doan can't get this one in front. McLeod batted this one down away from Grieg. Grieg is trying to clear this one out. Buffalo with some good zone time here. Dahlin goes across. Top of the right circle. Now Dahlin receives it again. Kerwin drag. McLeod right into it. Top of the left circle. Fires it. Stopped by Olmark. Doan trying to get this one back. And this will roll towards the right side. Penalty coming up against the Senators again. Touched up by Brady Tkachuk. And when we come back, Buffalo is going on their second power play in a span of minutes here. So Buffalo will get a second crack on the man advantage. We'll be right back in a moment. quick update from Carolina. Logan Stankoven scores his second goal against Columbus, assisted by Taylor Hall and Jackson Blake. That Carolina second line has been buzzing since the Olympic break, and they found their mojo. It is 2-0 at Raleigh, with the Hurricanes leading the way. No score here in Ottawa, no score in Philadelphia. In the meantime, so the Sabres going on their second power play. They're rolling with Owen Power on the top unit after Rasmus Dahlin was double shifted for the majority of that first power play. He was out there for all 2 minutes, actually. So he was double shifted. It's 2-0 Florida at Amerant Bank Arena. The Penguins have tied it against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Josh Norris will take this faceoff against Claude Giroux. Won by Norris as it goes to the left side for Quinn. Jack Quinn goes towards the near corner. Thompson cuts in. To the slot. Zucker gets tied up. Cleared away from Dahlin, who is back on the ice. Owen Power is actually on the bench. So Dahlin will start this up. Moves it towards the right side. Now it's dropped back. Here's Norris. Has a long room to make up for as Josh Norris drops it over to Zucker. Zucker using the end boards to find Thompson. Thompson goes to Dahlin. Touch pass over to Norris away from Stützle, who flips it quickly over to Dahlin. Norris gets this back. He's wide open. Norris overskated for a moment, then gets it back at the right point. Down low it goes to Zucker, and now Norris again. Josh Norris. Norris fires one. Wanted Zucker on the deflection, couldn't get it. Now it's Josh Norris again, top of the right circle. Norris waits, flips Thompson, and that's off the post! Norris loses an edge, and here's Ottawa with a chance. 1-on-1 is poked away by the Sabres. Dahlin will reset. Fresh faces on the ice here for Buffalo. Halfway through this second power play, Tage Thompson was close to scoring the first goal of this game as it went off the pipe. Ryan McLeod leads this second power play unit. Flips it around from near to far. 2 Senators are there. Josh Doan pokes it free. Doan uses the boards. Thompson's still out there. Zucker as well. Jason Zucker going back for Thompson. Doan! Stopped by Ullmark and it goes out of play. 2 very good looks from the players sitting at the bumpers. Tage Thompson and Josh Doan. As it's a flip pass from Norris to Thompson as he tried one. That hanged the post outside of the right post as it evades Linus Ullmark entirely. Josh Doan had the other good chance on the second unit. He's found a new gear, being part of the return for J.J. Peterka. Face off to the left of Ullmark. There'll be a crowd to take it for the Sabres. False start against the Senators. So Michael Amadio has to come in. And being tossed out is Lars Eller, who replaces Adam Gaudette from last year's lineup. Now it's McLeod being tossed out. It'll be Alex Tuch to take it. Tuch is not a natural center, but he wins the faceoff anyway. Handled by Bowen Byram. And it'll be sent towards the right side. The official had to jump out the way. Going down low towards the slot. Ullmark got on his stick on it. And Buffalo keeps it. Right circle to Tuch. Touch pass back. Tuch trying to get open. Good stick handles at the right circle by the Sabres. As McLeod centering feed for Tuch. Was sticked away. 10 seconds. Across for Doan. Back for Byram. Now here's Tuch. His one-timer's fanned on. And the Senators will run out the rest of this power play. So Ottawa's PK, third worst in the NHL, is 2-for-2 in the early stages. Down the near side is Bowen Byram, who will flip it around for Josh Dunn. Dunn trying to get this one down low. Jordan Greenway is there at the far corner. Away for the approaching center. Greenway able to hold it. Greenway in front. Dunn is stymied by Ullmark, and the Senators able to get it out. Byram got his stick onto Tim Stützle at the near corner, but he's able to hold it. Good body checking away for Drake Bafferson. Mallenstein couldn't pick it up, but it's out to center. Backpedaling is Jordan Spence. Leading the rush at the far half boards is Fabian Zetterlund, had it poked away by Bowen Byram, who upends him just past the Sabres bench. 4:40 to go here in the first period. We're on the next whistle. If it's not an icing, will be the under 6 timeout at the near corner. Matthias Samuelsson is tied up. Owen Power is there with him too. But comes right out in front. The puck is still free. Cleared away by Jordan Greenway as a roll towards the Ottawa zone. It will not make it all the way for an icing. Zoo picks it up. Buffalo needed that change badly. Shots are 6-4 Sabres. Win, and they're in. Losing overtime in shootout, along with losses from Columbus and Detroit, will also get them in. Bouncing puck at center ice is picked up by Peyton Krebs. Lifted out on the head, Tuck is on the chase down, beaten out by Zoo, but Krebs helps him out. Ottawa will retrieve it back. Thompson's there behind the net, this one batted up, and it comes back behind the net. Flipped over to Zoo. Zub on his backhand controls it near the Ottawa bench. This is flipped down low and the Sabres were able to retrieve. Thompson is offside as Tuck got a step ahead with 3:45 left in this first period. And Buffalo love to clinch it tonight, especially with a win. We'll be right back. More good news for the Sabres if they were to lose in overtime or in a shootout tonight. Alexander Nikishin adds to Carolina's lead. A shorthanded goal assisted by Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho. It is 3-0 Hurricanes against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Still, we are no score in the Detroit-Philadelphia game and in this game between Buffalo and Ottawa. It's Rasmus Dahlin, Buffalo's captain, is out there on the ice. And this would be sweet, especially since that today, Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld welcome the baby girl to this world. Ottawa wins this faceoff as it's sent across into the far side. At the half, we'll be having discussions about Toronto and Montreal, especially with the recent developments in those two cities with the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. Put back down the ice by the Sens, and Lukin will slow this one down. The Sabres able to get this one towards the near side. Poke back down the ice, no deflection, icing. Manson Paolo was the first one back. So the recent use being the firing of Brad Treliving and the addition of Michael Hage to the Canadiens organization. So the Sabres are 10th in goals against average, 3rd in save percentage, while the Senators are 22nd in goals against average, 31st in save percentage. Slot save percentage, 4th for Buffalo, 31st for Ottawa, and goals saved above expected. Buffalo is 6th, Ottawa dead last. Face off to the right of Luukkonen, won by the Sens, but it goes all the way back down towards our old end, and Olmark will set things up on a deep pass. Sent in on the back end, as Zach Benson lost Warren Foegele, but Foegele is decked. The puck is deflected out by Logan Stanley as he cleaned up Warren Foegele. Nice and hard. Still without a score between Detroit and Philadelphia. So we're in the later stages of the first period in those games. We're also going to keep an eye out on the Washington-New Jersey game. Should New Jersey play spoiler to Washington's playoff hopes, however slim they may be. Free throw to go here in the first period. As this faceoff is to the left of Luukkonen. Won by the Sabres is bounced up. Luukkonen plays it away from Cousins, his former teammate. Kept in by Lassie Thompson, going down low for Cousins. Cousins hounded down. It's brought back towards the right point. Thompson a long shot blocked in front by Stanley. And Stanley will flip it down. Foot race. It will be iced. No, it will not. And we have a scrap behind. And Brady Tkachuk and Logan Stanley are throwing haymakers at one another. Here is Stanley with a right. Tkachuk is held it down. Tkachuk in trouble. He counters with a right. Now gets back up right. Stanley and Tkachuk still going at it. They throw rights at one another. Tkachuk, so 2 rights. Here's Stanley. This scrap is still not over. Tkachuk is without his helmet. Fans on their feet as Tkachuk throws some more rights. And with Tkachuk in a headlock, it is a TKO for Logan Stanley. That'll get the sparks going. Both players will head to the locker rooms. They'll start the second period in the penalty box. We'll see who started this. And it looks like Stanley, he challenged Tkachuk to a fight after Tkachuk hit him towards the boards. And Stanley said, "You want to go?" "Yeah, I want to go." And they dropped the mitts. And by the way, it is 2-1 Penguins thanks to Igor Chinnikov. And a nice job by Stanley and Tkachuk. And throwing the haymakers as Stanley held his own against Tkachuk. And Stanley, it was clear that he won this fight. Could be some motivation for the Sabres the rest of this first period. They were to get some goals onto the net. Travis Green and Lindy Ruff, the bench bosses. I know this rivalry has been long dormant, but maybe that'll get it reignited. Senators win another faceoff, but it's held at the near half boards by Tage Thompson. Bowen Byram keeps it inside. Nicholas Madenpalo retrieves. He is held up at the left side. It's kept in by Byram. Peyton Krebs holds it there at the left point. Cleared out by Ottawa, will be reset by Dahlin. Moved up towards the middle to Thompson, and Thompson will fire from the red line. Slowed down by Olmark. He'll have to play it away from the approaching Krebs. Held in by Thompson as he got stick checked at the far corner. Thompson gets it back. Looks towards the point. Thompson gave it away. But that's Amadio who got it out. And going down the far side is Shane Pinto. Here's Giroux with it. Giroux drops back. Good stick lift on Shane Pinto. And here is the Sabres on the other way. 2-on-2 as they enter back. Tage Thompson inside out move. Can't get things going here. He chipped it up at the near corner. Krebs shoves his man. And Amadio will start up the far side. 2 minutes left. The Senators will slap this one around the end boards near side. Recollect at the far half boards. It'll be Owen Power with it. Looking to get away from Lars Eller. He backhands it, but it's kept in by Nick Cousins. That takes a bounce off of Owen Power. Eller, Cousins holding, and this gets by the point. The Sabres will restart for their own zone. Lassie Thompson across, and moved up front towards the far side. Warren Foegele whistled offside with 88 seconds left. And that was broken up in a 2-minute slashing penalty while sitting on the bench for Brady Tkachuk. A weird penalty for Tkachuk. But here the active player was played on or against the Buffalo Sabres in the playoffs. There are only 3. Claude Giroux, James Van Riemsdyk, and Tyler Myers. Giroux and Van Riemsdyk were on the Philadelphia Flyers in 2011. Tyler Myers is with the Dallas Stars now. He was on the Buffalo Sabres in that series. Faceoff is won by Buffalo. Giroux is with the Senators. Van Riemsdyk on the Red Wings. Here's Jordan Greenway on the far side as the Sabres try to center things up behind the net. Now going back out. Long shot from Dahlin. Not a lot of wood on that shot. And this will be cleared out by Ottawa. And this will be picked up now by the Sabres. Rasmus Dahlin will drop this one behind. Ryan McLeod sends it with a minute left. Onto the far corner as the Senators trying to get this one out. Final seconds of this first period. Speeding down the zones, Fabian Zetterlund, gloved down by Luukkonen. Thought about holding on to it, but kept this one alive. Pass is cut away from Stützle by Buffalo. And this is forced out. Pass Zub, picked up by Jack Quinn. Quinn at the far half boards, or near half boards rather. Ottawa does get it out. And this will be iced against the Sens. 31.9 left in this opening period as Owen Power touches up. Shots are 6-4 Buffalo. It's been a while since we had a shot on goal here. Hurricanes Blue Jackets is at the end of the first period. Offensive zone face-up is won by the Sabres. Grabbed by Bowen Byram near corner. Centering pass up front was blocked. Byram gets it back though. Byram, another pass is blocked. And Zub gets tangled up right behind the net. Byram on another hold. Left point kept in by Josh Norris. Glove down by Ottawa. They can't get it out as Buffalo working hard to keep this puck. Long shot blocked by Zetterlund. Benson's all tied up. Doan as well. 5 seconds ago of the first period. Benson jostled by Stützle. Stützle plays behind the net, and that's going to end it. No score after one. And Detroit, in the meantime, scores the opening goal against Philadelphia. That does not bode well for the Sabres if they were to lose in overtime or in a shootout. That first goal was scored by Alex DeBrincat. And when we come back, it'll be the first intermission report where we get into the recent developments. That includes Brad Treliving, the press conference from Keith Pelly, and Michael Hage. We'll be right back in a moment. I am Alec Nava. See you soon. So the lowest shot attempts in the period that we've seen from the Buffalo Sabres in a period is 6-4. Their shot advantage after 20 minutes of play. I am Alec Nava. No scoring in the first period. We do have 5 total penalties. Zach Benson holding. Brady Tkachuk slashing, Jordan Spence interference, and then fighting majors between Logan Stanley and Brady Tkachuk. They'll sit down at the penalty box to begin the second period. To go over to the team stats between these two. For Buffalo and Ottawa, start with the hits. 12-7 Ottawa in the hits. Faceoffs 10-9 Buffalo, and that's good for them considering they're going up against one of the best faceoff teams in the NHL. Power plays 0-2 Buffalo, 0-1 Ottawa. And block shots 5-3 Ottawa. Giveaway 7-3 Ottawa. Buffalo is the only takeaway. So as we go on to the recent news, Brad Treliving has been fired by the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they entered the season with their sights set on 2 goals, keeping the NHL's longest active playoff streak alive and finally hosting their first Stanley Cup since before the moon landing. To say it hasn't worked out is the understatement of the year. They're now closer to the NHL's basement than the penthouse, plummeting from first in the Atlantic Division last season to being all but eliminated in the playoffs weeks from now. Couple that with the controversy over the lack of response to Austin Matthews' season-ending injury, from a dirty hit from Radko Gudas, and the Treliving firing hours before a rematch with a guy who hurt their captain, you get a glimpse of the team where dysfunction reigns supreme. And no, losing Mitch Marner to the Golden Knights isn't the reason that they have been a mess, but it's a factor. Marner went out for 1 or 2 points in the contract year last season and was a key part of both special teams, but also couldn't show up when the lights were brightest in the playoffs. Many fans were wanting him to be traded for some sort of change to the much-vaunted Core 4. Sure, losing Marner for what amounted to be depth center Nick Waugh stung, but the thought was that replacing him with more overall depth, the Leafs would be better equipped for the playoff grind. But for that to work, they have to replace it with worthwhile pieces and actually get to the playoffs. They did neither. The players the Leafs brought in Marner's stead were Waugh, Dakota Joshua, and Matias Maccelli, but they have largely amounted to spare parts, and their lackluster play has contributed to the steep tumble down the standings. Should be noted that Marner hasn't exactly been lighting it up this season either, bouncing between center and wing on a largely disappointing Golden Knights team that just fired Bruce Cassidy. Second is the front office in action. Watching the Leafs front office has been amounted to this. We tried nothing and we're out of ideas, to quote The Simpsons. Short of a couple of winning streaks, any fans that has a pulse could see that they have a lot of problems since October. Not only are they old, but they're also slow, at the bottom or close to it, of many key team-based statistical categories, especially on the defensive side. What happened? Some waiver claims, fired an assistant coach, and that's about it. Maybe it's something to do with the disastrous trade deadline where Treliving traded away some of the top prospects and first-round picks for players who did not warrant their high price tags, leaving them worried about another mistake. Or maybe the problem rests with Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment president Keith Pelly chose not to replace former Leafs president Brendan Shanahan, leaving them rudderless to the tide of great upheaval. Though, in the defense of Shanahan, the Shanahan plan technically was a success, but it did not amount to greater success than what the Leafs were expecting to. First, the coaching. Craig Berube may be a good coach, so it's not like he has no idea what he's doing. But his second year with the Leafs has been fraught with puzzling decisions. For one, the Leafs don't have the puck. After years of prioritizing puck possession under former head coach Sheldon Keefe, the team moved to a chip and chase style that the roster is not equipped to play, and one that only works if you have sensational goaltending to bail you out of trouble. The team is getting outshot at comically hilarious levels. Berube's answer to the problems was usually something along the lines of, guys have to dig in and play harder, in quote, in the CBC article. Nobody's questioning that these players have more to give. Their effort levels are questionable, but especially over the last couple of weeks. But it's a coach's job to motivate players to implement systems that give them the best chance of success. Berube's done neither. Goaltending hasn't also bailed them out the way it did last season. Any hockey fan is going to tell you, goaltending is volatile. Other than several superstars like Andrei Vasilevsky, Igor Shesterkin, or Connor Hellebuyck, this is the most volatile position in the sport. Toronto's goaltending tandem was rock solid last year, led by Anthony Stolarz at .926. This year, Stolarz is a much more pedestrian .893 and has missed significant time with injury. Joseph Woll has fared a little better with .904 save percentage, but has also missed a large chunk of time at the start of the year on a personal leave of absence for the team. It should be noted that Wall has arguably been the team's best player for the last few weeks. Coupled together with Berube's system, which seemingly only works with phenomenal goaltending, you have a recipe for a marked slide down the standings. And last week, the Stars have been anything but stars. It's probably easier to list the skaters on Toronto's roster exceeding expectations this season over those who haven't. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has turned back the clock, and Ethan Cowan has mostly acquitted himself well in the big leagues. Bogru has been a nice late season story. And that's about it. Austin Matthews is done for the year, but even before that, he was not even close to living up to his salary as one of the highest paid players in the league. His future with the team is a little murky, but if he stays, the Leafs have to hope it was Berube's systems that are holding him back. William Nylander released the team with 71 points in 58 games, but this season has been marred with injury, questionable effort at times, and the baffling decision to flip off a camera crew on live TV during the broadcast in January. Morgan Riley's been a defensive liability all season long. Many fans were craving for him to be shipped out of town. No trade clause notwithstanding. John Tavares is no longer one of the highest paid players in the league and leads the team in goals with 28, but is being asked to do far too much at 35 years old. Up and down the lineup and in the front office, the Toronto Maple Leafs have been a disaster this year. That's why they're in one of the least enviable positions in sports. An aging roster, mostly bereft of draft picks or prospects coming down the pipeline to help things out. And the Keith Pelly press conference did not help matters either. Oh my goodness. As you watch the Steve Dangle video, you can tell that it was a disaster. Pelly spoke for nearly half an hour about the state of the team, the next set of hockey operations will look like, Craig Berube's future, and much more. And that was a disaster. And of course, when Pelly said, "We didn't see the train coming with the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens," well, he can be excused for the Sabres because nobody saw the Sabres being this good, but the Montreal Canadiens made the playoffs last year. With Pelly's awareness of what's going around him, my goodness. Yeah, Pelly held a news conference in the wake of the dismissal of tree living. He looked like with his press conference, that looked like he had no idea what was going on. And oh my goodness, tree living arrived in town just in time to say goodbye to Mitch Marner, who was not the problem, to watch Toronto miss the playoffs for the first time at the Austin Matthews era. Pelly was left to explain how a team with a boatload of expensive but sadly mismatched talents become a failure. He explained in a sense, but he was unaware that he was lifting the curtain to explain those shambles that underlies an organization that has consistently managed to do less with more. The Leafs are ran by suits for suits. Ran by suits says Jack Todd of the Montreal Gazette. We didn't see the train coming as destined to go straight into Leafs lore alongside "We won the handshake" line. That is the line that's going to haunt Toronto for a decade about not seeing the train coming. Pelly's comment left Steve Dangle so beside himself that his voice went up a couple of octaves. Dangle said, quote, "I can forgive you for not seeing the Buffalo Sabres run coming, because even the Buffalo Sabres did see this run coming. But you didn't see the Montreal Canadiens coming? Do you know how out of touch you have to be with the National Hockey League to not know that the Montreal Canadiens, who made the playoffs last year, are one of the best up-and-coming teams in the league? They have 3 guys that are going to get Calder votes this year. They have the reigning Calder winner. Cole Caulfield hasn't even entered his prime. What do you mean you didn't see the Montreal Canadiens coming? Today I learned the Maple Leafs president is a deer," said Dangle. Oh my goodness. The reason the Leafs have been a disappointment in every single year is this quote from Pelly. Quote, "I need to create the overall vision, the strategy, put the structure, put the process, put the pillars in place for us to have the right culture, for us to develop a winning and containing team year after year. Success in business for me is quite simple. It's about vision, strategy, people, and execution." Almost every word of that speech is basically out of the front office, how they baffle things up. Fans and media of the Leafs have not been so obnoxious while winning 2 playoff series in a decade. Oh my goodness. But that game, a few hours after Pelly's newser, the Canadian Express the Canadiens train roared into Tampa to face one of the very few teams ahead of them in the standings, looking for the sixth straight win, third on the road. It felt like a playoff game, and the Lightning are very good, and so are the Canadiens. Montreal took the lead in a beautiful goal by Yuri Slafkovsky, who just turned 22, lost it when the Bolts evened the score, took it back on Caulfield's 47th goal of the season, held on to it as Jakub Dobeš stopped 17 shots in the third period. But overall, that press conference was a disaster. And Pelly said, "We will not tank to close out the season." Well, I know every team doesn't want to tank, but the Leafs are in the least enviable position in all of sports. Not good enough to compete for a playoff spot, and not bad enough to tank. The last headline is Michael Hage, who is expected to join the Montreal Canadiens organization once the Frozen Four is over. So that is the recent headline from the Habs. He is a Canadiens draft prospect, scored twice earlier in the season. He's been a standout with the Michigan Wolverines. When we come back, it'll be the second period, hopefully the first goal of this game. I am Alec Nava, and we'll be right back. We're getting set to go here in the second period. The Carolina-Columbus game is back on. The goal scorer for Detroit-Philadelphia is Alex DeBrincat on the power play. Patrick Kane and Mort Seider have the assists. So be keeping an eye on these two games as we're getting set to go here in the second period. Lindy Ruff always seems to keep a card of the officials for tonight's game. Of course, he wants his players to get to know the officials before each game happens. Of course, you're trying to get there. The Josh Norris line, it's up against the Dylan Cousins line. Warren Fogel's been elevated to the second line next to Ridley Greig. And we're underway. Fogel is in the place of Brady Tkachuk, who is in the penalty box because of that fight he had with Logan Stanley. Moved up the ice by Josh Doan, but it's taken away by Ottawa. Here's Fogel. Up the near side. Fogel's pass blocked. Cousins turns around. Looks for a partner. Can't find anyone. And the Sabres do get it out as Benson stumbles. Bowen Byram retreats and gets the puck. Right back with this is Power. Owen Power down the near side. He'll drop it back to safety where it's Luukkonen with it. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen moves it up the near side for Josh Doan, and up the middle is Zach Benson. Benson holds down the near side. Benson chips it over to Doan. Doan back. And here's Norris who will play behind for Samuelsson. Back for Norris. Norris goes back for Samuelsson. His pass is intercepted by Ottawa. And they're moving it back here. Leading the way is Ridley Greig. Greig will play it around the end boards from near to far. Tap back by Krebs. And Power is tied up. Far corner, he leaves it up for Norris. Norris stick lift as the Senators keep it inside. Power intercepts. But could not pry this one free as the Senators break it up. Centering pass! What a save by Luukkonen! With the glove as the Luke chants ringing for the Sabres fans to make the trip here to Canada's capital. And of course, when he steps out in front, his good save by Luukkonen as Dylan Cousins gets the centering feed from Shane Pinto right up front, and Luukkonen robbery with the glove. And off this face-off win, the Sabres in control. Up to far side Krebs. Can't get this in deep as Tuck tied up at the left point. And Ottawa will see this one go all the way down. The Sabres are in control again. Right side, it is Samuelsson. He'll lift it up. Right side, deflected down by Tuck, or rather Krebs. It'll be controlled by Zub. Keep in by Buffalo. Pass too far, and this will exit out of the zone. The Senators going back with Rasmus Dahlin going back on defense. Alex Tuck up forward, being part of this defense. And the Senators can't get this one up. It'll be Thompson on the control. Tage Thompson away from Drake Batherson, who is on him. Thompson leaves it up onto the far side near the Sabres bench. And this dump-in attempt was blocked off. The Senators in control again. Fresh faces on the ice this time for Buffalo. This will be Nicholas Baden-Paulos. He sends it up the far side. Fired in deep, off a body, and it'll be Luukkonen play this one out. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen trying to go, or to go is kept in by the Senators. And Nick Cousins has it. Nick Cousins goes back, left point for Jordan Spence. Spence lets it go, kick saved by Luukkonen. And the Sabres will go back with this. It's a 2-on-2. 3-on-2 if they hurry up. Going with speed is McLeod. McLeod is tied up, near corner. McLeod still trying to hang on to this one, but is pride free. And the Senators will go back with this. Gained the red line. Centering pass went wide. Bowen Byram deflected it. Zach Metz's out to her as well. Down goes Quinn at the near corner. So go back towards the left point. Lassie Thompson with it. Goes across. Chipped in deep. It'll be retrieved by Zetterlund. Maybe Zetterlund. One-timer! And this one blockered away by Luukkonen. Kept in by Lassie Thompson. Called up from AHL Belleville. The Belleville Senators. Along the far half boards. Sabres tie their man up. And this will exit out to center. Jack Quinn. Chip and chase after this puck. You guys will go on to the ice. That's the second line exits out. Ottawa cannot catch them on that change, and Luukkonen will place one out at the near corner. This will be grabbed by Byram. The former Colorado Ave is bouncing along the Buffalo blue line, gloved down by Byram, and sent back for Metza. Zach Metza, the 5'10" defenseman, sends it up towards the far side. Ottawa regains the control of it. Now to the near side, inside out, Stützle, cut away. Picked up now by Batherson, and goes around the boards. Metza ties up his man Zetterlund behind the net. Gets himself free onto the right circle, goes back towards the point over a long shot wide. And it's picked up by the Sabres. Jordan Greenway playing keep away with the puck. Back towards the far corner where it's picked up by Byram. Bowen Byram centers it down low, and it's to be deflected onto the near corner. Sent in deep, picked up by Mountain Paulo away from Josh Dunn. Nick Cousins with it. Goes across the ice. Zach Benson could not pick up the puck. Ridley Gray could. He sends it down the far side, and the Sabres will get their change. And on the left side, setting up in front is Josh Doan, and an inside-out backhander went over the net. Dylan Cousins trying to get this one out. Norris played it to himself, and the Senators able to regain control. Ridley Gray on the handle, looking to find an open man. He does. It is Jordan Spence. Playing this one far side, but kept in by Josh Doan. Doan waits, fires, blocked. And to go around past the right point, and restarting with it is Owen Power. Good opening 5 minutes for the Buffalo Sabres here, both defensively and offensively. And this will be Josh Norris taking it in. Norris twisting and turning at the right point. Norris sends it in deep, looking for a deflection from Dahlin. This will reach Olmark, and both Logan Stanley and Brady Tkachuk will make the returns. Put the puck around pretty good. As Josh Norris hang on to it. Tried to go top shelf far side. As Linus Olmark, who saw this one go over him, he wasn't even tested there. Couldn't even make a reactionary save. And an update from Philadelphia. It's a tie game. Tyson Forrester, 31 seconds in. The assist from Owen Tippett and Trevor Zegras. So it's 3-0 Carolina in the other game. No score here. Lars Eller against Tage Thompson. Won by Eller. Poked away at the near corner by Matt and Paolo, and this will be sent down the ice. This will be iced against Ottawa. 5 minutes and 6 seconds into this second period, and Brady Tkachuk is best described as a pest. And one of the best at his job. 20 goals, 31 assists, 51 points. Of course, that's the style of play in which he and his brother Matthew play, being agitators. And Brady Tkachuk, the emotional leader of this Ottawa Senators bunch. That's why he's named team captain. Looking for a quick shot is Peyton Krebs. Thompson wins it. Krebs a quick shot. Allmark was ready for that. Ottawa trying to get out with this. Eller having trouble with this puck. It bounced off a tuck and it goes out of play. It was deflected out of play. Play was stopped with 5:14 elapsed time. And Tage Thompson has grown as a faceoff man as Peyton Krebs tried a quick shot off the draw. That didn't work. Another faceoff win by the Sabres. Here's Krebs with it. He'll deliver it left side for Power. Power a shot that's gloved by Olmark. And Peyton Krebs is having a career year for Buffalo. 11 goals, 36 points. Same thing with Jack Quinn and Josh Doan. 18 goals, 49 points for Quinn, which are career highs. Doan, 23 goals, 47 points. As the Sabres saw the value in Josh Doan ahead of the season. Trade J.J. Peterka away to get Doan. Another quick shot that's blocked. Retrieved back by Buffalo along the point. And Krebs had this puck knocked away from him. He'll get it back. Sent up the far side to Thompson. Thompson fires it in deep. Past Tuck, who stays on the ice. Bowen Byron gets shoved off. So does Krebs. Behind the net. Quinn cannot play it as it goes by him. Zub gets a return fee for Madden Paolo. Nicholas Madden Paolo. Senators have 5 defensemen on the ice because of the injury to Tyler Clevin. Another defenseman injured for the Senators as the Sabres will look to get set up. 6 minutes gone here in the second period as the Sabres looking to clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. Jack Quinn moves up the middle. Lost it as he got sticked. Moving back with this is Stützle. Stützle had it knocked away from him. Stützle gets it back briefly. Stützle gets it in deep. And on the takeaway, this is Bafferson who goes towards the right point. Holding, shooting, and that stung Zucker. Kept it at the far corner. One-timer left side. Blocked away by Luukkonen and out of play. And Zucker is stung by that block. He'll get some stick taps as he'll make his way gingerly to the bench. We'll step away. Brady Tkachuk and Linus Ullmark were both requested to speak with the media ahead of tonight's game. They were not made available, according to the Ottawa Senators. And Lindy Ruff said before the game that they have to focus on their game. He was the head coach of the Sabres for their last 8 playoff appearances. Brought back for a second stint as off the face-off of Stanley. First shift back from his fight with Brady Tkachuk. Mallenstein looks at the near corner. Looks to go back. Mallenstein instead goes behind the net for Josh Dunn. Had it taken away from him. And the Sabres will hold it from Metsä. Deflected up front by Dunn. That is him missed by much though. Down low is Mallenstein. Mallenstein looks. Goes back out towards the left point. Stanley blasts one. Glove down by Ullmark. Screen provided in front by Dunn. And Stanley with his blazing shot at 93.5 miles an hour. Truly tested Ullmark that time. Mallenstein went between the legs of Jordan Greenway. And Stanley blasts one from way downtown. All the way back from Rochester. It's 2-1 Panthers against the Bruins. Penguins and Lightning are tied at 2. No score here. 13:04 left in the second period. Face-off is to the right of Ullmark, which Thompson loses. But he's able to hold it. Briefly as it's picked up by Zub and cleared on out the center as the Senators trying to get some offense out, looking to spoil the party in Buffalo. Got it in deep. Power intercepted the pass. Saucered it over at the near half boards. Kept in by Shane Pinto. Deflected. Luukkonen saw it. Michael Amadio reached up for it. And he made the stop. And you can win big. If you're Buffalo, if you get the win, it'll be ultimate happiness. Montreal's up 2-0 on the New York Rangers, by the way. We are scoreboard watching. The primary games we're focusing on outside this game are Carolina, Columbus, Philadelphia, Detroit. So the same scoreboard from those 2 games. 3-0 Carolina, 1-1 tie between Detroit and Philly. The Senators have it stripped from them as Zach Benson moves it up. And here he comes. He is forced towards the near corner. Looking for a clean look, but could not get a breakaway. Doan got his skate onto one of the Senators as it's held in by Josh Norris, the former Senator. Turnaround shot never made it all the way through. It's held in by Norris at the right point. Norris goes tic-tac-toe. It's off the inside the post. And they whack it wide on the rebound. Oh my goodness. How close was that? That's twice now. And a chance for the Senators is sticked away. And here come the Sabres the other way. The trailer is Bowen Byron from Zach Benson. Ottawa can't get this one out as it's held at the left point by Jack Quinn momentarily before it's forced out. Owen Power will look up front and to be skated at the logo by Ryan McLeod. Intercepted by Ottawa. And we have a whistle. 11:41 to go here in the second period. An off the centering pass. That's the 3rd time in which the Sabres have missed out on a grade A chance. 2nd time that they've hit the goalpost. Josh Doan off the inside of the post. And it's whacked away by Jordan Spence to clear away a rebound chance. He had a feed on it. Ullmark may have gotten a piece of it. And for a chance at the blue paint. It'll be Zetterlund, Stützle, and Bapperson on this face-off. 2 shots. 8:53 of ice time for Josh Doan on this 3rd line. The Sabres get it in around the Senators, but the Sabres are able to get this one away from Ottawa. The last 2 times these 2 teams met in the playoffs, 2006 and 2007. 5 games, those 2 series. The lower seeded team won those 2 series. Buffalo the first time, Ottawa the second one. This one poked out of play. And what's up? The Go 8177. It is scoreless here between Ottawa and Buffalo, but we do have a recent update here. Denton Matejchuk has scored for Columbus. The Hurricanes still lead 3-1 against the Blue Jackets. It's going well. Not much going on around here. Scoreboard watching here. Along with covering this game, Buffalo and Ottawa. The Sabres have the shot advantage 9-6. No score between these two. Face-off win by the Sabres. Here is Bowen Byram. Controls towards the left point. Samuelsson towards the net. Score! The shot gets through and Buffalo strikes first. Mattias Samuelsson gets it all the way from the top of the left circle. 1-0 Buffalo. The screens provided by Alex Tuch and Peyton Krebs. And with it going through, all the way, he went low side on Ullmark. And if you're a Sens fan watching along in this tight playoff race, that's not good news. Especially with the game between Detroit and Philadelphia. Both of those are in the wild card mix. Boston is in the running spot for the first wild card. Detroit and Philadelphia are fighting for the second wild card as the counter shot by Shane Pinto is stopped by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And of course, needing redemption after that hideous game against the Florida Panthers. Ouch. They put that one behind and go back to the drawing board. The good news is that with the presumption of Brady Tkachuk and Linus Ullmark being locked in, the notion was that they were not made available during the pregame interviews. Josh Dunn has tossed out the faceoff circle. We have an update in Raleigh. The Hurricanes have scored. Nikolai Ehlers from Jordan Martinook. The assists on the Matejchuk goal are credited to Boone Jenner and Miles Wood. So should Buffalo lose in overtime, they need both Carolina and Philadelphia to win. All right, have a good day to go 8177. Mattias Samuelsson, 13th of the year from Bowen Byram and Peyton Krebs at 8:49 of the second period. Puck is poked out the Ottawa zone, set down towards the near side. Zach Metza is first back. Beck Malenstein on it. This fourth line getting some reps here for Buffalo. Flipped on down the ice and was picked up by Matt and Paulo. The Senators looking to spoil the party. He lost an edge and Zach Benson tried to keep this one alive for it to be poked away by Cameron Crotty. First time we mentioned his name in a long time. Yes, Bree Sabres are under the red line looking to receive a breakout pass. Past the halfway mark of this second period. Ottawa trailing 1-0 is flipped down the ice. This was flipped in from the red line. The officials rule it, so no icing here. Ottawa's trying to tie the game up. Owen Power pries it free, and Buffalo Sabres will get this one out. Zach Benson worked to Josh Dunn. Dunn in front for Benson. Kick save Ullmark. And the Sabres are 33-5-2 when scoring first. That's good news for this Sabres team. And Rasmus Dahlin able to hold it as one of the Sabres went down. Set the cross. This will be Tim Stützle with it. Sparta's first line was Zetterlund and Bapperson. Oh, and down goes Doan. Doan shoves one man. That should be a penalty. We'll see if an official's arm is up in the air. Stützle dropping this one back as this gets knocked. Several players go down. And as it's touched up by Buffalo, indeed it is a penalty. And Carolina goal. I assume it is taken off the board. Unless we see otherwise. So it'll be a penalty on Ryan McLeod. The Sabres penalty kill will go to work here in Ottawa. We'll be right back. And we have confirmation that the goal from Jordan Martinook, not Nikolai Ehlers, has been waived off. So it's back to a 3-1 game in Carolina. We're keeping you updated between that game and Detroit, Philadelphia. In the meantime, should the Sabres lose in overtime, off the face-off, the Senators power play goes to work. Stutz was tied up by Greenway. Goes back for Spence. Poked away, Cousins. Will survey from the slot. Fires, save, Luukkonen. Firmly grasp it, 11 seconds into the man advantage. McLeod, 2 minutes. Taking that step forward. Cross-checking is the penalty against McLeod. In the meantime, it's 2-0 Stars against the Jets. 1-0 Wild against the Canucks. 3-2 Devils against the Capitals. And the Senators only had one shot on the previous power play. They got their first one 11 seconds into this one. Metsä off this face-off win by the Sabres. They've been doing good at this department in this game. 20 seconds into the man advantage. And it'll be Jordan Spence setting things up. Spence will look at the near side. It's a drop pass from Bapperson over to Stützle. Tim Stützle, the German speedster, looks around, tries a sharp angle shot. It was a pass. Around the right side, Cousins gets tied up. Along the far half boards, Greenway tangled up. It comes to Metsä. Zach Metsä sends it to the length of the ice. Linus Ullmark, the former Buffalo Sabre, will play this one out for Jordan Spence again. 50 seconds gone in the McLeod penalty. Brady Tkachuk takes it in. Gets the return feed up for Bapperson. Bapperson tied up by Power. Bapperson trying to poke this one free for Tkachuk. Bapperson in trouble. Power, along with Tkachuk, trying to send it back to Bapperson. It goes wide of him. Here's Dylan Cousins going back for Stützle. Makes a man miss. 45 seconds left in the McLeod penalty. Back for Spence. Here's a one-timer. Save Luukkonen. The rebound picked up by Benson and cleared all the way down. That's 90 miles an hour on that shot. And both teams' second units will get onto the ice. And we have a stoppage here. 7:32 left in this second period here at Canadian Tire Center. Luukkonen lost his helmet. So that's why play is stopped. Looks like that shot hit his mask. It crosses a pass and it hit his mask indeed. His Cousins has fired a 90-mile-per-hour bullet shot. And now Carolina goes up 4-1 for real this time. The Sabres have not given up a lot of shots. This faceoff is won by Buffalo. They'll clear this one down the ice towards the near side. We have yet to confirm who scored the goal for the Hurricanes to go up 4-1. Up the middle as they gain the line to retreat back from Pinto, but could not be centered on. Final seconds of the second power play for the Senators. Drop back over to Giroux. Claude Giroux moves up the middle, flips one towards Luukkonen, who easily turns that one away. Penalty is up. McLeod's back on the ice. Held inside by Ottawa as Giroux centering pass is blocked. He'll keep it himself. Three Sabres there as the shot fluttered wide. And this is over at the far side. Flipped on back towards the left point. Racing to it is Lassie Thompson. Flips a shot that was set wide. Kept in his zone by Ottawa. And this will be Giroux who gets bumped off the puck. The Senators trying to get a good chance. Big hit along the far half boards. This will be Thompson. Lows one up. One-timer blocked off a stick. And it'll be Thompson with it. Back towards the right point as Ottawa has a good zone time. Spence drops it off. He'll get it back. Spence to Cousins. Nick Cousins fires. Blocked in front by Metsä. And Cousins falls down. Fogle jumping onto it behind the net, but could not jump onto it. Ottawa keeping it at the right point. Lassie Thompson blocked pass off of Alex Tuch, but Ottawa was able to hold it. Back towards in front. And no stick there for Jordan Greenway. He tried to clear it out. Ottawa keeping it. Essentially a power play because Jordan Greenway doesn't have a stick. Ballenstein trying to clear it out. Shane Pinto is there. Less than 6 minutes to go in the second period. Ottawa trying to take advantage of the guy without a stick. Kept it at the right point as this pass goes towards the far half boards. Back towards Zub. A long blast. Blocked. It'll be Spence once again. Dead tired Sabres on the ice as the Zub holding the point. Greenway still without a stick. Back to Zub. Looks towards Spence's direction. Zub. He and Spence exchange spots. Now towards the top of the left circle. Zub with a rather Pinto. Pinto is watched by McLeod. Pinto turns back. Here's Zub, a long blast, blocked by Greenway, who is still without a stick, and he's ailing from that block. Back towards the near quarter, and finally it's cleared. Here comes Alex Tuch with Zub back on the fence. Tuch's backhander is turned away by Ullmark, and he falls down afterwards. Back is Tim Stützle as he goes across towards the right side. Here comes the Senators' return feed. Could not reach Stützle up until he does. Now back towards the deep shot. Oh, and Luukkonen, rebound free. He covers. Ottawa's trying to answer with the game-tying goal. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen held his own. A lot of zone time by the Senators with dead-tired Sabres on the ice who have spent more than 2 minutes out there on the ice. And Jordan Greenway took a Warriors block. The goal's from Jordan Martinook, so the goal is confirmed. We'll be right back. Carolina, as their game is at the end of the second period. Still 1-1 Detroit and Philadelphia. They're in the middle of the second period. And just like this one, we're in the final 5 minutes of the second period. Here, 1-0 Sabres as Jordan Greenway getting some fist bumps for his courageous block on a long shot that stung him. Of course, he's going to get a look on the bench. Brady Tkachuk, who rarely plays center, is taking his face-off to the right of Ullmark. He loses his face-off. The Sabres will pick it up. It's kept in by Ridley Greig. Here's a shot. The function score! Dylan Cozens, the former Sabre, has tied it. A shot from the point, redirected in front by Dylan Cozens as he beats out Rasmus Dahlin to this puck. He gets his stick onto the ice and he one-hands it through. He gets the Sabres fans on their feet for a moment. They have something to cheer about. They're in the midst of this wild card race. 26 of the year for Cozens. How tight this game is. It is a very tight situation for both teams. The Sabres looking to clinch tonight. This is flipped down the ice. And it's gloved down by Owen Power. Buffalo will get this in deep. But Ottawa is in the way. Back at their own zone, the Senators are with it. Artem Zub gets it onto towards the left point. Owen Power is tied up at the near corner. And the Senators trying to double down here at Canadian Tire Center. The passes get all the way through. Here's Spence. Long shots to get all the way through. Oh my goodness, that one tipped wide. Dangerously close with an open net. Now here's a chance right in front. And that was stopped by Luukkonen. A shot from Spence. Loose stick on the ice again. Peyton Krebs gets tied up. Back towards the Buffalo zone. This is Owen Power picking it up. Power with it. Kerwin drag move as he sends it in deep. This takes a bounce off of Zub. And Alex Tuch has to go out. Nicholas Manpalo is rushed by Tage Thompson. Stick lifted from behind. And is kept in by Jack Quinn. Quinn looks. Far corner. Gets tangled up. Quinn beat out to on the puck behind the net. And the Sens will go back with it. Down to the near half boards. This will be out of the reach of Bowen Byron, but a blessing in disguise because it's an icing. 2-0 Montreal over the New York Rangers. Florida leads 2-1 over the Boston Bruins. It's a 3-2 game between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Pittsburgh Penguins. For the reviewing goal, it's another face-off win for the Ottawa Senators. Glove down by the Sabres, only to be reclaimed by the Senators. Back around and behind the net is Dahlin, looking to sweep this one out, and he will. Pass across, gets gloved down by Stützle. He'll send this back in. High puck. Batherson with a double team by Dahlin and Zucker. Now McLeod joins in on this puck battle. Dahlin picks it up. McLeod cannot get this one out as the pass is blocked. And a slot shot stopped by Luukkonen. Now on the way back it is Buffalo with it. Jack Quinn going with this far side. Backhanding it in deep. Jump and chase is Lassie. Thompson's the first one to it. Ryan McLeod on the chase. Kept in by Josh Doan. Doan with Zucker sitting in front. In front, centering pass! Ullmark with a sprawling save! They shut down Jason Zucker and Josh Doan. Kept inside as this is Owen Power going back towards the left point. Samuelson gets this in deep, right around the boards. Power going towards the near corner. Power around the point. Will turn around and fire it. That went up high towards the far corner. Doan could not handle it as Josh Norris gets jostled out the puck. Stützle. Benson shoving him. So is Norris. There is loose equipment on the ice at the far half boards. Could not be cleared out by Ottawa. Kicked in deep. And the Senators will take this one back. Shots are even, 12 apiece. 2 minutes left in the second period. 1 goal apiece. We are tied here at Canadian Tire Center. Owen Power with it. Power towards the far half boards. Shoved down by Doe. And the Senators pick it up again. 1:45 left. It'll be Michael Amadio with it. On towards the near boards. Cousins lost an edge. And Luukkonen will play this one on his backhand. Owen Power can't get this one out exactly. And he'll get it back. Matthias Samuelsson uses the far half boards. But can't get this one out. Jordan Greenway gets the tip. Mallenstein gets it fully out. Ottawa will reset. Across the red line they send it in. Luukkonen lets this one go. Mishandled by one of the Senators. This will be Greenway on back. And Buffalo on the short touch pass. Update from Philadelphia. Lucas Raymond from JT Comfort and Simon Edmondson. Right around the right side, it'll be Jordan Greenway. Too far for him, and Artem Zub controls with less than a minute to go here in the second period. Amadio, pressured by Mallenstein. Now back for Zub. Artem Zub, intercepted at center ice. It is Krebs on a line change for the Sabres. And Alex Tuck with it on the hold for Buffalo. Tuck taking this one on towards the left point. Long shot was stopped. Logan Stanley, the initial shot, kept in by Metsä. Now back along for a long shot. Rebound! Krebs could not fire this one home. Tuck holds it again. And here's Stanley for Metsä. Metsä curling drag. Could not be deflected by Thompson. It is held by Ullmark. No rebound. A shot through traffic by Zach Metsä, the Quinnipiac Bobcat. Sends the puck through the net for a dangerous chance. With Tage Thompson sitting in front, the Yukon Husky. Speaking of Yukon, the Huskies are in the Final Four in men's hoops. And Thompson will love to see them get their third national championship in 4 years. The team led by Taras Reed Jr. and Alex Caraban. Face off to the left of Ullmark is won by Ottawa. Jason Zucker is in trouble. Held at the right point by Buffalo. Zucker's tied up behind the net. With the Senators trying to get this one out. Cannot. Held at the far half boards. This is bouncing off of Ullmark. McLeod there. So is Grigg. Sent up towards the point. Byram a shot. Ullmark's out the crease. It comes towards the near corner. Flipped on out. And this is picked up at center ice. That's going to do it for the second period. We see the action pick up here in the middle frame as Jack Quinn and Brady Tkachuk have worries for each other. That's what Tkachuk wants. Poor status as a pest. 3-2 Lightning over the Penguins in the meantime. But boy, are things getting spicy here to end the second period. Goals from Mattias Samuelsson and Dylan Cousins. And right at the top, as Linus Ullmark went way out of the crease to stop that blazing shot from Bowen Byram. Another grade A look for Buffalo. Not fried by shot volume, but they fried by shooting percentage. We come back, we'll have a look around for the latest headlines in sports, including some recent retirements in the NFL. Well, never mind. We're going to get into the intermission report right now, because guess who is joining us? The one and only Ian Genge. Soon enough, we'll have him join along. Is that working? Okay, so it's 2-1 Panthers over the Bruins right now. 2-0 Canadians. And here we are. Well, tonight could be the night, Ian. And we're tied 1-1. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Finally have a free moment.
So, we're tied at 1. Goals are from Mattias Samuelsson for Buffalo, Dylan Cousins for Ottawa. But here it is, Ian. We're in the second intermission. And the easiest path for the Sabres to quench is with a win. But what happens if they lose? There is a way that they can make the playoffs of a loss. It has to happen either in overtime or in a shootout, but that also requires victories from the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers in doing so.
Yeah, Buffalo just win. That's my response to that. Just win.
Yeah, just win. That's the mantra here for them. Now, if you watch that latest Steve Dangle video about the reaction to the Keith Pelly press conference, there's only 2 words that need to be said. Oof, Maron. Because that was a disaster and a half. Because we know about the Brad Tree Living firing, and I can excuse Pelly for not seeing the Buffalo training coming, but you didn't see the Montreal training coming? Literally one of the best up-and-coming teams in the NHL?
I have no idea what this guy was. Oh my god. The Brad Tree Living. First of all, hiring Brad Tree Living after seeing the absolute mess that he created in Calgary should have gotten anybody fired, or whoever hires the general managers, they should have been fired, and Tree Living should have been sent packing. Just eat the cap. But not only that, look, was Kyle Dubas perfect? Absolutely not. He made some rather questionable moves, a la, well, actually, no. Never mind. Letting Jack Campbell go was actually a bullet dodged. But not addressing backup goaltender. Having it to where you were down to Michael Hutchinson in your net. But on the other hand, you see where both organizations, you see where Kyle Dubas is now with the Penguins.
A much better place.
A much better place. And he is, we were talking about a few times, you more so reluctantly, talking about trading off pieces of the core for whatever they could get for a very long and hard rebuild. This guy comes in here, gets Erik Karlsson for basically nothing. Brings in depth. depth.
Yeah. We traded for Connor Dewar, who we acquired from Toronto for a 5th-round pick.
Right.
And so he's thriving here in Pittsburgh.
So you get him. You got Brent Kulak for a little bit, but then they trade him.
Yeah, we traded him for Sam Girard and a 2nd-round pick. We originally got Brett Kulak from Edmonton in the Tristan Jarry trade.
Right. So you got Brent Kulak from Edmonton that turned into Sam Girard, and I'm guessing Sam Girard has put up some minutes, or at the very least, he's not terrible because I don't see Pens fans losing it over him.
So far, I'll read off the stats from Girard in his Penguins tenure only. So, Girard right now, 14 goals. Oh, not 14 goals. 14 games, just 3 assists. So, not terrible. And a +2 rating.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, so you go from Kyle Dubas, who built the Leafs to playoff contention, finally won a playoff series with them. You go from that to Brad Tree-Living, who couldn't get the Calgary Flames, if I recall, past the first round when you had Matthew Tkachuk and the late Johnny Gaudreau, rest in peace. But yeah, you couldn't get past the first round with those two because you were trotting out. Let me look at this again. Did they have Cam Talbot in that for one of those years?
Yeah. Cam Talbot was the Calgary goaltender for one of those years.
So, for one of those years. And then, now, I don't know how much of this was Brad Tree-Living's fault. They signed Jacob Markstrom, if I recall correctly, to a 5x5. Granted, he was the hottest goalie on the market that year. But that didn't work out. But you completely messed that up. You trade Matthew Tkachuk for what seemed like good depth.
But it backfired.
Horrendously to the point where Mackenzie Weegar is no longer on your team. Jonathan Huberdeau is nearing the twilight of his career. And I don't even remember what else they got from that.
Cole Schwint, who's back on the Panthers, and a 1st-round pick who turned to be Cohen Potter, which isn't a bad selection, though that was a Conroy selection.
Oh, so not even a Tree-Living selection.
Yeah. And now, what did Tree-Living do to try and right this ship in the midst of a fleeting season? Waiver claims, Mark Savard being fired, and that's it. Nothing else aside from a late season call from Bo Gruel. Yikes, Ian.
Yeah, wow. So, yeah, there was a lot there to unpack. And Toronto now, I mean, Alec, I see no other, I don't know, I don't see a future where Austin Matthews is a Stanley Cup champion in Toronto.
It's bleak.
It's bleak, and Leafs fans, you are about to hate me when I say this, but right now, whatever you can do, it is in your best interest to hit the big red button.
Oh boy. Those days are looming. Those days are right around the corner, it seems to be. Because this is a wasted window.
Yeah, because as I recall, hang on, if we look at let me look at Tankathon real quick to see what their situation is actually like. Because I don't want to say something and then have it not be true. Okay, let me look at this.
Oh, and their first round pick, if it lands outside the top 5, it goes to Boston.
Yep. And as we are looking at this right now, we look at Tankathon. They are at pick number 7. Oh, it gets worse, Alec. It gets worse because Toronto does not have a second round pick. Guess where that one's going?
We can only imagine where.
Chicago.
That's in the Jake McCabe trade, I assume.
I would guess so. So right now they're projected at pick number 7, which is, as you said, outside the top 5.
So and also another first round pick, they trade that to Philadelphia in the Scott Lawton trade.
Right. So let me look. Let's have a look right here. That will be next year's first round pick. Oh my goodness.
Good Lord.
This was, Billy King, anybody? Does anyone remember that name? Billy King, Brooklyn Nets.
Well, we now have the equivalent to the NHL version of Brad Treliving with the Toronto Maple Leafs in how he's building the Boston Bruins.
You know what? They may have to do... The Toronto Maple Leafs may have to pull a Sam Hickey.
Again,
they may have to do Shannon Plan 2.0, and it's not even by their own choice. It's out of necessity at this point.
At this point, who will be there to blame them if they were to go Shannon Plan B? Yeesh. Oh my goodness. Alright. Oh, here's another thing. I know we're switching topics here, but I know, but ever since the last discussion, I want to point out some key retirements here and some key signings in the NFL world. Well, Kirk Cousins is signing a 5-year deal with the Raiders, which in actual reality is a 1-year deal. The final 4 years of the 5-year deal are not guaranteed.
But the man still gets his money.
Yeah.
Alec, say it with me. Generational.
Bag secure.
As long as this man does not make any poor business decisions, his future generations are set for life.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Should they make an exception and just put Kirk Cousins in the Hall of Fame just for the amount of money he's been able to secure in his career?
Now, as Blue Jackets Hurricanes is in the third period right now, I agree with you. I mean, he should be put in the Hall of Fame of bag securing, for his agent specifically.
Absolutely. Oh, him and yes, his agent. His agent is about the way David Falk was for Michael Jordan. Kirk Cousins' agent is for
Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Now, we want to wish a happy retirement to Stephon Gilmore, the two-time defensive player, the two-time All-Pro and the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, has announced his retirement on Instagram. He's the last defensive back to win Defensive Player of the Year. That year, he had 20 pass breakups in 2019.
Stephon Gilmore was a beast.
Yes. 20 pass breakups, 6 interceptions that year with the New England Patriots. A truly historical year for any defensive back.
So, there was a signing that concerned the Kansas City Chiefs. Truth be told, I don't know how to feel about it. It's so the Chiefs signed Kaiir Elam.
Depth.
And look, Chiefs fans are, pardon my language, they're pissed. They do not want Kaiir Elam on this team simply because they know how bad he is with their own eyes. The amount of times he got burned by our wide receivers.
I mean, he was supposed to be Buffalo's plan B for if Trent McDuffie was taken, and he flopped massively. Yeesh. I mean, how bad is it that he got beat out on the depth chart by a later round selection of that same draft, Christian Benford, who played in Villanova? Not a football school. They're a basketball school.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man. And there's another signing, and this one involves the departure of one of the Steelers. Kyle Duggar goes to the Cincinnati Bengals on a 1-year deal.
Jeez, they are trying anything and everything to have some semblance of a defense out there.
Oh, who knows how that's going to work, but losing Trey Hendrickson's going to hurt that.
That is just the stupidity of Mike Brown.
Yeah, I mean, oh my.
Oh man, I cannot fathom. You have look. I understand injury concerns and all that, but here is where I have a problem. You've lost Jesse Bates, Von Bell. Who else? Who else have they lost? You now lost Trey Hendrickson. Pretty much their defensive core is barren.
Yeah, and they let go of Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt to release, so they've been falling off the map for quite a bit. All right, so we can discuss this later. The third period is underway. We're tied at 1. The goals have came from Matthias Samuelsson and Dylan Cousins. Pass down low, and the approaching Sabre at the far, or the near corner rather, that's Zach Benson. It is the Dylan Cousins line against the Josh Norris line. Cousins, the former Sabre. Norris, the former Senator. Pass back to the right circle, didn't go. And here's a one-on-one with Bowen Byron retreating back on defense. At the far half boards, Byron pins his man to the wall. That allows the puck to be freed up for Josh Doan. Doan, away from Cousins. He finds his man. And it's flipped onto the near half boards to Tage Thompson. Thompson, shaking himself free, feeds it to the near half boards to Peyton Krebs. Along the penalty box doors, Shane Pinto on the takeaway. We're 1 minute into the third. Here's Claude Giroux. One of 3 players who has been on a series against the Buffalo Sabres in the playoffs. Back deep towards the left point here is Artem Zhu flipping it down low. We have not seen Tyler Clevin since the first period. The Sabres are already missing 5 defensemen to injury. From the near half boards after the misfired shot that went wide. This goes back around deep to Rasmus Dahlin. He sends it back for Tage Thompson, and Dahlin and Byron will go to the bench. Lindy Ruff has switched Dahlin to be paired next to Bowen Byram, and now Samuelson and Power come back out onto the ice. Long stretch passes flipped all the way down, and on the dump and chasers Jack Quinn, who banked it off the side of the cage. The Senators trying to play this one up 2 minutes into the third. Stützle shakes off one man, and he feeds it up for Bafferson. Both players are on the 30-goal plateau. Bafferson for the first time in his career. Along the far side, controlled by Buffalo, Logan Stanley, who got into a fight with Brady Tkachuk earlier in the game. Ryan McLeod tied up, far corner, frees it up. Jack Quinn, tied up. This is sent on back. Ottawa has to regroup. Zub sets things up, and it's 5-1 Carolina in the meantime. Andrei Svechnikov, power play goal. Shane Gostisbehere, Sebastian Aho, the assists. This is played by Buffalo by McLeod. Played behind by Samuelson, only to be jostled free by Nick Cousins. Sent all the way back. Lassie Thompson fakes the shot. Now takes a shot. That's stopped by Luukkonen. Now to the far half boards. It is Ridley Grigg. Luukkonen reaches out for a stick, and he gets his stick back. Ottawa setting up right around the boards. Here's Stützle, who goes across from point to point. And that's stopped by Luukkonen on the long shot from the left point. Flipped ahead for Beck Mallenstein, who gets jostled off the puck by one of the Sens, and bringing it back is Grigg. Ridley Grigg backhands it towards the goal, could not be fired home. Betza pokes it away. From the near half boards is sent down the ice, and it's picked up by Crotty. From the near side, sent in deep by Ottawa. Luukkonen plays it behind for Zach Metza, the former Quinnipiac captain. Dahlin flips it ahead. Could not be played by Ottawa. And it's sent onto, I thought it was sent onto the benches. Metza sends it over to Dahlin, being double shifted. Back for Metza. Zach Metza is the shortest defenseman on this Buffalo decor. Flipped up the ice. 16-16 left in this third period. No deflection, icing as Crotty wins the foot race. Detroit, Philadelphia underway in the third period. 2-1, the Red Wings have the lead. The most recent goal from Alex DeBrincat. And some of the upcoming events at KeyBank Center include Journey on June 10th, Zane on November 7th, Andrea Bocelli on December 11th, all this year. I would love to watch, and I would love to see an Andrea Bocelli concert soon enough. Josh Norris and Brady Tkachuk on this face-off circle. Tkachuk is taking the left side face-offs, Dylan Cousins the right side face-offs. Tkachuk wins this one. Left point shot blocked. That was Josh Doan. Senators keep it down low. Centering pass, skip wide of Cousins. A blast! Wide the crease. Ottawa keeps it in. On the zone is Brady Tkachuk. Near corner. Here's Cousins, poked away. Luukkonen in trouble. The referees don't see it, and now they do. He covers up. He keeps a hold of it, holding his composure. And that's what Lindy Ruff wants him to do, and not do anything too rash. It is 4-2 Tampa Bay over Pittsburgh right now. The latest goal scorer is Yanni Gourde. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle, and Rasmus Dahlin lost his bucket. A lot of stick chopping as Dahlin, without his helmet, he'll have to put it on. We're 4:06 into this third period. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Linus Ullmark have played great. The Ottawa defense has been holding their own here so far on Pride Night in Ottawa. Giroux on the faceoff circle. Tie-up, won by Buffalo. 5-4 at the near corner as the Senators trying to take the lead here. From behind it, Amadio sends it towards the left point. Faking a shot is Jordan Spence as he spins around. Spence goes down low, tries to center a pass. Byron blocked it off with his outstretched stick. Buffalo couldn't clear it. Artem Zub holds it. Zub goes down low, intercepted by Byron as Buffalo looks to go on back. A good start for the Senators In this third period, Peyton Krebs nullifies the icing. Alex Tuch sends it around to the left point for Power. He goes down around behind the net. Now back for Power, walking to left point, backpedaling. One-timer from deep. Ullmark the save, and the rebound is swatted away. From the far side, Giroux plays it off the boards, and it's picked up by the Sabres. Michael Amadio will head off towards the bench for his change. Bowen Byram pivots and goes back for Dahlin. The McLeod line on the ice now. Going across back for McLeod, and it's moved up towards the far side for Jack Quinn. Quinn looks, Quinn fires, kick save, rebound, and was swatted away by one of the Senators' defensemen. Logan Stanley couldn't hold it, but his teammate could. That's Ryan McLeod. Around for Zucker, who braces himself. Matt Paulo got it away, but Metsets on the hold. Here's McLeod, far corner. One-timer! Ullmark with the save, and the rebound is softly played by one of the Senators towards Ullmark. It is 4-2 Devils, 3-0 Stars, 2-2 between the Wild and Canucks. Blackhawks Oilers has just begun. Quick movement and quick shots from Buffalo. So looking to clinch a playoff spot tonight. And they love to do so here in regulation. To put Ottawa behind in the point standings. The Red Wings are up 2-1 on the Flyers as we speak. But that desperation factor is with the Senators right now. Norris wins the faceoff with a skate kick. 2 shots for Quinn on 11:14 of ice time. Cycling around is Dahlin. He turns it over. And the Senators will restart on a 3-on-2. Speeding down the near side, Dylan Cousins. To the net! Save! Luukkonen! And he hugs the left post and covers. Rasmus Dahlin took a hard shove to the net. And oh my goodness, one of the Senators is slow to get up. And finally getting up is Brady Tkachuk. He is one tough customer. And he got driven hard towards the boards. He powers his way through. It's Dylan Cousins loses his footing. And Tkachuk, he lost his balance driving towards the net. He gets up. Tkachuk, his brother Matthew, missed the first half of the season with an injury that needed off-season surgery. One tough customer. Senators win the face-off from the right point, and Zub score! Artem Zub from the blue line, and it's 2-1 Ottawa. Might have been redirected in front. It'll go to Lars Eller. Right off the draw. This long shot, skip from the right point. A quick face-off win as Warren Foegele got it back. Zub got it in front, and it's Lars Eller with the deflection. And both of Ottawa's goals have been deflections. This one from Eller, after the first one was from Dylan Cousins. Plenty of time for Buffalo to come back in this one. 14 minutes left for them to tie. Now Buffalo's playing from behind. They have faced adversity here before. Ottawa trying to snap a 6-game losing streak against Buffalo. Alex Tuch to Logan Stanley. And Stanley will fire it in. Back around to the far corner. And Ottawa can't get this one out. Logan Stanley on the hold. Left circle. Quick shot turned away by Ullmark. And it's going to be cleared out by Ottawa. So they hold a 2-1 lead. Lars Eller, the goal scorer, assisted by Artem Zub and Warren Foegele. Sent back deep. This will be Stanley with it. Logan Stanley surveys and goes far side. Sent back over to Ryan McLeod. McLeod skates up with this. This hit a leg. Sabres have to regroup because this is a delayed offside. Byram sends it up for Quinn. And then back. Whipped around for Byram from the penalty box doors. Goes cross quarter on the dump in. First one back is Matt Paulo. Trying to use the boards to get it out. Held in at the right point. Owen Power having trouble holding it. And Ottawa does get it out. Poked free by the Sabres. Retrieved by Crotty. Sent in deep by Zucker. It'll be Nicholas Matampalo, tied up by Zucker. Crotty back there. From the far boards. Power. Can't hold it. And Ottawa will get this one out. Chipped out towards center ice and hit the logo. Ryan McLeod. Both set up for Josh Doan as he slowly makes his way in. Doan waiting for help. And he waited for too long. Now he comes back with this. They're going to roll this onside. Jordan Spence turns away. Loose stick on the ice and Zach Benson trips over the stick. Moving up the far side is Dylan Cousins. Here comes Cousins speeding down the wing. Dylan Cousins to the net. Save, and the rebound's picked up by Buffalo. Zach Benson with it now, or rather Josh Norris. Norris goes far side. Norris inside out, and he gets knocked down. Puck is at the broken stick at the far corner, and Ottawa will retrieve. Here's Lassie Thompson, who will go to the trailer with Dylan Cousins. Tied up by Matthias Samuelsson, and here's Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin takes his time with it. Line changes here for the Sabres towards the Buffalo bench, and they take it up the ice. Alex Tuck goes backhand to the trailer. Samuelsson save with traffic in front, and the puck gets by Logan Stanley. Here's the breakaway for Ottawa. Chance to make it a 2-goal lead. Luukkonen says no. Puck comes free to the near corner, and Buffalo is with it now. Sent in deep by Tuck. Olmark will come out to play it. Matampalo in trouble. Tuck is there. Jack Quinn as well, but it'll be played by Ottawa. 9 minutes into the third period. Played over to the far side. Potential 2-on-1 nullified. Here's a lung blast. Denied by Luukkonen, and it goes out of play. 9 minutes, 3 seconds into the third period. Lars Eller from Artem Zub's shot. We'll return in a moment.
All right. Buffalo's got a little bit of work to do.
Yep. It's not like they faced adversity before. And do remember this, Ian. 2 games ago, the Sabres erased a 2-goal deficit against the Seattle Kraken and won 3-2.
This is correct.
Yep, and of course, they had a tough battle against the New York Islanders. Just 2 days ago, Buffalo won it 4-3 thanks to Peyton Krebs on what was his game-winning goal. The Islanders will get a very late goal to make the final score 4-3. That goal came with 1 second left. So it was not enough time for the Islanders to do anything. And Buffalo, they're facing an uphill battle, but every game at this point is an uphill battle for them. Well, can you imagine a player getting a penalty from the bench?
I cannot. Did it just happen?
Yep, in this very game, Brady Tkachuk slashed one of the Sabres from the bench.
What?
You don't see this every day.
Nope.
And I thought the penalty at that time would be called on Claude Giroux for holding. And what a save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen to stop Claude Giroux on the breakaway. Trying to make it a 2-goal lead for Ottawa. Kept his composure. Nice job. Now, and that keeps this a 1-goal game between the Sabres and Senators. Senators lead 2-1. We're coming back onto the ice as Giroux is on the bench, the former Philadelphia Flyer. Face-off win by Ottawa, as they have some work to do, tied up at the far side. Owen Power as well. This puck comes to Bowen Byram. Sabres get moved this one up. This would be the late offside against Jason Zucker. And so Ottawa will play this one for their own end. Lassie Thompson moves it up through the middle. And then near side for Drake Bafferson. Bafferson! And that's a good skate there to nullify that crossover move. And that's an offside. Close at the line. Jordan Spence could not hold it in. And the Ottawa Senators looking to play spoiler to the Sabres playoff clinching party Meanwhile, it's 2-1 Red Wings over the Flyers. That's in regulation now. The Sabres need the Flyers to win if they were to quench with an overtime loss. So all is not lost. Rasmus Dahlin uses the boards to get it. Up through to Josh Stone. Ottawa takes this one back. Potential 2-on-1 if they hurry. But that's quickly canceled out as Brady Tkachuk shoves off his man Jack Quinn. Tkachuk goes behind the net. Mattias Samuelsson there to match up with it. Rasmus Dahlin as well. His teammate there as well is freed up for Cameron Crotty. Near corner for Tkachuk. This pass goes out towards the left side for Matt Powell. Matt Powell rushed by Josh Doan. Poke free. Doan gets this free to Zach Benson. Here's the pass to Doan. Here is Benson. Nice feed from Doan. Benson going behind the net. The pass doesn't reach all the way. And Ottawa will come back with this. Holding off his man and Brady Tkachuk is Bowen Byron. He gets hounded down. Fans want a penalty. Loose glove on the ice. It's picked up now by Mattias Samuelsson. Samuelsson uses the boards to get this in deep and around the boards. Picked up now by the Senators. Over to Giroux as they retreat. 19-18, the shots in favor of Buffalo is Michael Amadio taking this one up. The loose glove is at the near corner. Ryan McLeod tied up. Giroux has this one go off a leg. Now Zub around the end boards. This puck went off of Stanley's stick. And now this gets taken back by the Sabres. Looking to tie this game up back at 2. Flipped on towards Tuck. Alex Tuck, the former Vegas Golden Knight. Intercepted by Claude Giroux, who will flip it down the ice. Ryan McLeod moves far side, inside out on one of the approaching Senators. Here's Owen Power with it. Flips it over. Here is Metza, or rather Thompson, who gets tied up by Fogle. And Ottawa will move this one back. The Senators are on a three-game losing skid. Luukkonen places for Zucker, away from Lars Eller. Jason Zucker moves to far side. Thompson's going for a chase. Look out! That could have been a too-many-man on the ice penalty. Up the near side. Here comes Josh Norris. Closing it to the net. Turning far side. Rebound. Comes loose. Played by Zucker. The pass bounced off of Dahlin. Now the pass batted down off a stick of one of the Senators. Kept alive by Buffalo. Dahlin plays it and it's kept alive. Jack Quinn with it. Sends one towards the net. Blocked in front. And Ottawa gets it out. They'll take the icing. No, it's not going to reach all the way for an icing. Good job there by Ottawa to not ice it. Here is Josh Norris on the way back. Turns back, waiting for help. Sending it towards the slot. Picked away by Tim Stützle. Zucker tried to strip him off the puck, so was Doan. But Stützle sent to the head. And on the near side here is Jordan Spence. And the pass across doesn't make it all the way. Stützle kept this one alive. Sabres get it back from their own zone. Here is Zach Benson. Benson gets pried free. Here come the Senators with a great A chance. To the slot. Save Luukkonen. Off of Zetterlund's shot. And he'll hold on. And we have yet another update. This is coming from Philadelphia. The goal scorer is Patrick Kane. It's showtime, Detroit. 3-1 Red Wings. So we're going to break here in Ottawa. Buffalo with their backs against the wall. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is
we don't have the words to describe it. Yep. So for the assist on the Kane goal, Andrew Kopp and Albert Johansson. And some breaking news from Pittsburgh. This was earlier in the day. The Pirates have recalled Connor Griffin and have extended him to a 9-year, $140 million deal.
Yeah. I mean, this is very not Pirates. It's a very not Pirate thing to do. I'm surprised, to say the least.
I mean, signing a young key piece to a big extension, something that we don't typically do. But if this is the future we're talking about, it was a must for Connor Griffin. So he and Brian Reynolds have been locked up long-term by the Pirates. As we're getting back here in Ottawa, McLeod wins the face-off. Samuelson gets it away from Ridley Greig, only to be met right behind on towards the near corner, and Buffalo is on the retrieval. 20 shots apiece by both teams. Ottawa gets it in deep. Ukko-Pekka looking and plays it out onto the far corner. This is sent home by Ottawa. Down low, this pass goes out in front. Good tie-up by the Sabres. Zub keeps it alive. Another tie-up at the near half boards. This is Michael Amadio as he closes in. He is forced behind the net by Dahlin. Amadio still with. He gets stick lifted once. He'll send it towards the far corner. Turnaround chance kicked out by Luukkonen. And Samuelson gets held up. And here, what do we have? It's not going to be a penalty. The net actually got dislodged, so we're going to have a discussion about where the face-off is going to be. So meanwhile, it is 2-2 between Montreal and the Rangers. Some out-of-town scores: 4-2 Capitals over Devils, 3-0 Stars over Jets, 3-2 Wild over Canucks. So those are the out-of-town scores. We're mostly paying attention to this game: Hurricanes, Blue Jackets, and Red Wings, Flyers. This face-off is to the left of Luukkonen. Dylan Cousins to take it for Ottawa. And he wins it right back towards the point. Kick save, Luukkonen. Puck is going to be picked up by Jack Quinn. And he'll flip this one to center ice. Benson. Oh, this puck takes a bounce onto the Sabres bench. Look out. And the pace of this game has been electric. And now as we are looking to get going here, well, here at center ice, face up between Zach Benson as Josh Norris got tossed out, and Ridley Greig. To the side, this is Benson picking it back up for Buffalo. Bowen Byron trying to send it in deep, but can't. He'll get it back for the Sabres, and Buffalo does move it up for the ice. Benson finds an open Norris. Down low for Jack Quinn. Sharp angle try is blocked. Quinn gets it towards the right point, and it's Power with it. Owen Power drops it off for Norris. Norris a long shot, blocked in front, and getting stung by it was Dylan Cousins. Here's Owen Power, a long shot, and is gobbled up by Linus Ullmark, and Cousins is hurt. He is skating slowly to the bench. He is hobbling on his left leg. He has to make it to the locker room. He's really feeling it. And for a team that's already down 5 defensemen to injury, Ottawa cannot afford another injury. Well, it's a forward this time, but any injury is a huge ouch.
Yep.
Yeah, especially Ian. Especially Ian. 2 of those defensemen that are injured are Jake Sanderson and Thomas Chabot.
Is that one whole defensive pairing or just two parts of separate?
2 parts of separate pairings, but one entire pairing is out of injury because Chabot's partner, Nick Jensen, is also injured.
What? Jeez.
Yeah, that's the exact reaction. 2 others that are injured are Dennis Gilbert and rookie Carter Yakimchuk, who just made his NHL season debut this year. Alex Tuck sends it up for Tage Thompson. That pass intercepted. Ottawa playing defensive hockey here for this final 5:20. The next stoppage is the under 6 timeout. Carolina just beat the Blue Jackets 5-1. We're on standby for Detroit, Philadelphia. That's at the midway mark. Here's Bowen Byram. Slap pass over to Jack Quinn across. Quinn goes back for a long shot. Stopped by Ullmark. 5 minutes left. 93 miles an hour on that long shot. Ottawa can't get it out. Oh, here's a tripping penalty against Ottawa that's coming up. No hand in the air. Here's Jason Zucker centering pass. And here's a chance to cross. That gets blocked. And Ottawa picks it up. We're staying 5-on-5. Unbelievable. Here's a centering feed. That is too far. Unbelievable. I thought that was going to be a tripping penalty against Ottawa. No penalty in the air. Pass across the left circle. Quick shot saved by Luukkonen. And it comes back towards the near half circle. Center for Zetterlund, blocked in front. No Dylan Cousins and no Tyler Quevin for the Senators as Tim Stützle goes across. Top of the point. Left side, long shot. Gets stopped by Luukkonen. And it's out of play with 4:14. Unbelievable. No tripping penalty against the Senators that was called. And meanwhile, the Philadelphia Flyers have cut it to a thin one against the Detroit Red Wings, with Travis connecting the goal scorer. Porter Martone has his first career NHL assist on the connecting goal. We're at the break now, but if you're Buffalo, you have to be shaking your head on the fact that no penalty was called on the play.
I'd be furious if I was Buffalo right now.
Very. I mean, how was that not a penalty here? Well, and
I don't know. I really don't know how that wasn't a penalty. Jesus.
Oh, and Roger McQueen has just signed. Roger McQueen, who previously signed his entry-level contract with the Anaheim Ducks organization, has reported to the San Diego Gulls organization. Well, never mind. The connecting goal has been waved off, and immediately Detroit takes advantage. Alex DeBrincat. Well, actually, they're going to let the connecting goal stand. For some reason, ESPN is not showing it. Alex DeBrincat has his second goal off the game in response. 39th of the year. And Patrick Kane has his third point of the game. So, yes. Well, that's good for the Red Wings and for our good friend John Ott. Not so good news for the Buffalo Sabres.
No.
And yeah, Fabian Zetterlund very clearly got away with a trip.
Where are they playing right now?
They're playing in Ottawa.
Oh, that's why there's no uproar.
Yeah. So the fourth line is on the bench right now. And one of the referees in this game is Chris Rooney. They want an explanation for why there was not a penalty there, but there's no justification for missing that. Excuse me. 4 minutes to go. Here's Owen Power as he skates up with speed down the far side. Buffalo needs a goal to tie. Up at the far side, Ottawa trying to get this one out, but the Sabres hold. Pass into front of the goal is blocked, and the Senators trying to hold their zone. Glove down by Power, who gets tied up from behind. Giroux recollects for the Sens. Nice spinorama from his own zone by Jordan Spence. Only for the Sabres to cut him away. Here's Alex Tuch with a 3:45 left. Byram. Skaters run up the near side. He has Benson with him. Finds him. Zach Benson goes back. And hit the side of the cage. And his puck is still up for grabs. It is picked up by the Sens. 3:30 left. And Ottawa has a chance here. 1-on-1 of Owen Power racing back. Matches up with Amadio, who instead dump it down. Take his time with it as Luukkonen will send it over to Byron. But when Byron with it cuts back and then activates up. When are we going to see Luukkonen at the bench is the question. That Hurricanes win was their 8th consecutive victory. The 5-1 win over Columbus. Stretch pass takes a bounce. And Buffalo will chop at this further. This one was out of play with 3:02 left. Roger McQueen will wear number 26 with the San Diego Gulls. And the Houston Rockets just clinched a playoff spot thanks to the Charlotte Hornets. Faceoff will come outside the Ottawa zone. Faceoffs have been pretty even. And given that the Senators are one of the best faceoff teams in the league, the fact that the Sabres are catching up to the Senators in faceoff win percentage, actually impressive. Norris is tossed out. Krebs will check in his place against Tkachuk. Krebs wins the draw. It'll be sent in by Dahlin as he flips it to the near corner. Chopped away by Ottawa, but Buffalo is able to hold it for the moment at the near corner. Kept in by Dahlin, takes a bounce off of Krebs' skate. He gets tangled up. And it looks like his stick is getting held. Oh, it looks like a slash. No call and no arm up in the air. Here's a long shot. Save, Omark. And some more pushing and shoving ensuing. These refs are starting to be the center of attention for all the wrong reasons right now.
Yep.
Well, it looks like Krebs slipped and fell, but it looks like there was a missed holding the stick penalty against Ottawa. And now Lindy Ruff is going to use his timeout with 2:39 left. So you could be understanding by at this point that Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen would head to the bench. Buffalo needs one. So the whiteboards are out. We'll see what's being drawn up by the Sabres. And what is the Drought's last days. It's a matter of when. Of course, Buffalo love to clinch with a win. And we'll see who is going to be the six-man unit that gets sent out onto the ice when Luukkonen heads to the bench. 22 shots apiece in what has been a defensive hockey game. What's not helping the Sabres' case is the fact that the Red Wings are up 4-2, but Detroit needs this lead desperately to salvage a fleeting season. Thompson, Zucker, Tuck, Krebs, I believe, that's Norris. Oh, that's not a good face-off win because this comes all the way back onto their own zone for Buffalo. Jack Quinn's out there alongside Rasmus Dahlin. 5 forwards and 1 defenseman. Quinn sends it in deep. And Norris has to get around Zub to play this. This puck comes out to center ice, and Ottawa can ice it. 2-0. There you go. 2:18 to go. It's not over yet. Because there are a select group of teams that have lost games while scoring an empty net goal, including last year with the Dallas Stars when they blew a 5-2 lead against the Vancouver Canucks. In the final minute of regulation and lost in overtime.
I remember that. We were all gobsmacked. Because this was against Vancouver.
Oh my goodness. So the Blue Jackets lost, so that helps the Sabres. But the Sabres playoff clinching will have to wait a little more if this result holds up. They'll need 2 here. A 2-goal lead can be overcome. A 3-goal lead, different story. Is this went off a leg, 158. And one of those 2-goal leads that were overcome, you have to think back to Carolina and San Jose, in which the Sharks blew a 4-2 lead with an empty net goal. Carolina won in overtime. So Josh Doan having some words with some of the Senators, including Brady Tkachuk. Of course, you're going to hear words from him over and over again. But the fact that Tkachuk and Ullmark were not made available in the pregame presser may have just set the tone for what the Senators were going to bring tonight. Face-off won by the Sabres. It is Samuelsson who sent it in deep. Picked up at the far quarter. Buffalo tried to strip Ottawa with the puck, which they do. Here is Byram. Around for Zucker. Jason Zucker at the far half boards. Over to Samuelsson who holds. Now here's Benson, a shot. Blocked in front. Ottawa trying to get this one out. And here's a lead pass ahead. Here is Michael Amadio. No icing here as he beats out Samuelsson to the puck. He ties up Amadio. 1:30 left. Free Sabres there to poke the puck free. And Samuelson had his stick knocked out of him. Centering pass was knocked away, and here's the dagger. 4-1 Ottawa. And the playoff quenching party will have to wait. I put a blanket on this game. The Sabres' next chance to clinch is Saturday against the Washington Capitals.
Okay. Buffalo. This is it. This is the test.
It is. They can. And tomorrow's game between the Flyers and Islanders won't help out a lot because that's a game involving two teams with playoff implications. And Jordan Greenway and Shane Pinto have words for one another. So everything that you have just tuned into, including live scoring updates between Carolina, Columbus, Detroit, Philadelphia, that's all for not now. 78 seconds left in the third. So, very important question. Should Buffalo and Ottawa both make it to the playoffs? There's going to be a question that I have. Who would claim Song 2 by Blur as their goal song between Buffalo and Ottawa? Because the Sabres used that song for 90s nights. But they mostly use another goal song and not Song 2. This result is going to hold up 4-1 Senators. And the Lightning are going to win 6-2 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Senators, knowing that they are desperate for a playoff spot, seeing their chances fleet, they made the playoffs last year. But it was clear that Linus Ullmark took a step back. Their goaltending room was the worst in the NHL by a country mile. But they need all the confidence they can get. Ullmark is going to get his way to a statement victory and stop 21 of 22 shots. And is off to Washington on Saturday for the Buffalo Sabres. The playoff quenching party will be delayed for 2 more days, but not all is lost in the 7-1-6. The Senators take this one 4-1 on the night in which Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld welcomed their daughter onto this world. The Sabres will wait for the playoff quenching for possibly Saturday. So, it was a valiant effort. Of course, the Senators were the desperate team, but it was not for a lack of trying for the Sabres. They had their chances and grade A looks, but some of those chances they had rang off the post, including one from Josh Doan. And another one from Tage Thompson. So it's a hard-fought game that, of course, Ottawa, they took. But you have to capitalize on the chances that you have, such as those shots that went off the post. But it was not for a lack of trying for Buffalo. But we implore the Sabres to not mess this up on Saturday in Washington.
We will see what happens.
We will see. And so, anything else before we wrap this up?
No, sir. Sorry I couldn't get here earlier. I had to take care of some things.
Oh, no worries. Oh, dang, I had something saved should the Sabres win tonight. That would have had me paying perfect homage to the late Rick Jeanneret in doing this call. But, well, alas, we'll have to wait for 2 more days. Alongside Ian Genge, I am Alec Nava, saying so long from Canada's capital. Good night.
Good night, everybody.